So many people at Luminous Square today.
Phaethon!
No, that's not Phaethon, it's Nullface. It's not surprising you confused them. Ever since Phaethon went quiet, Nullface has been one of the top proxies.
What's so great about Nullface? Are they really that good? Up against the famed Section 6 with the Void Hunter Miyabi in charge? I'd say Nullface is out of options.
Lady Miyabi is here! The rest of Section 6!
Lady Miyabi! Please step on me!
Master! My heart has something to say!
Shokaku! Dog, wanna be my... No, that came out all wrong. Woof.
No wonder it's so crowded. They're all fans of Section 6. Looks like they're hosting an event here. Should we get out of—
What are you talking about, Belle? We're law-abiding citizens.
What's wrong, Deputy Chief?
It's probably just my imagination. But I feel like something is about to happen.
How's that? I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds or so before I'm convinced you all can't actually hear me. They heard it. They say they can hear me. He lives. Okay, perfect. Goddamn audio track. OBS, you piece of shit software. Anyways, we're gonna run all this back. Okay. Good thing I didn't start talking about her outfit. I had a lot to say about her outfit. Decided I was gonna hold off until I could see her weapon because I needed to figure out which one of her arms was dominant. Don't ask. Let me cook. We start talking about jargon. It's gonna repeat on loop. And I mean, our first interaction with Shokaku is that she is just a child. This is... There's a mess. You got the big coloring book. Obvious difference in stature. This is a child. This is contrast to Yanagi. This is maturity and immaturity right next to each other in the same business place. Such is life. God, what did we... No, I haven't. I am trying to stay as unspoiled about that stuff as possible, and it is really hard to go on any sort of social media without seeing all of the haha funny Vivian clips. Regardless. The VA replacements. No, I have not. But I mean, we're here to talk about the writing more than the performances. I'm sure the performances will come up a little bit, but... And if they change later on, we'll establish that too. Right now, the only information we really have about Section 6... Let's see, what did I miss? I talked about the three types of crazy asses, and how, you know, we have... Talked about the different kinds of crazy asses and how Section 6 is the top-notch, is the sort of top-notch of public security, but they are also being presented as celebrities and different kinds of celebrities, and I'm sure there's going to be something there about public image versus doing the right thing, which is kind of the whole of... I mean, Phaethon's entire arc so far is... Well, it started out giving up all of their fame and identity in the public eyes to start over and keep doing what they've been doing. And I'm sure we're going to get something similar to that here. All we know about this is that Yanagi is, you know... She's the responsible one. She is the adult in the family, so to speak. We basically spent the entire time outside talking to What's-His-Face from Section 9, with him glazing Yanagi about how mild-mannered... It was basically just a few text boxes talking about how Yanagi is the only one who has any responsibility and is mature and is easy to talk to, and all the stuff that we will now be holding against the other three as we try and figure out why exactly they are so hard to deal with. But...
Hello.
Okay.
You're the HIA rep who booked to discuss cooperation today, right?
I sit up front with who this person is, what their business is, yep.
Yeah. I'm going to respond clearly and directly, explain why I'm here, and show off my cool professional side.
Okay. This is a reminder that you can also have some concerning people in the workplace. But I mean, like, no, it's not okay. This is the... Oh, man. Let's just keep going.
Did you mean to say that out loud?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry. That's me. I'm me. I'm the HIA rep. Yes.
Mm-hmm. He does... He... You see, the difference is this guy actually looks like he's in his late 20s instead of being in his late 20s and looking like he's in his early 50s.
I swear I didn't sound this stupid when I was practicing in my head, but just thinking about talking with an elite from Section 6 made me...
Okay, so this is about her being from Section 6 and this being elite, not her being a beautiful woman and him being generic man in anime.
Please relax. We're no different from any other task force. Except
being better than literally all of you because the story demands it and we are the coolest.
Yanagi, can I skip the next chief debriefing? I'd like to continue my training of never attending debriefings.
Okay. That's shade number 1 of unreliability. I assume we're probably going to get notes from Shokaku and Harumasa here in a second.
that training will only get you complaints and a bonus cut. You have to attend the debriefing, Chief.
Nagi,
There's 2.
What's this lunchbox with "bury a meal" written on it? Is it a snack? Can I eat it?
So we've got intentionally negligent and naturally negligent. We've got does everything in her power to stay away from responsibilities however she can, and doesn't know what responsibilities is because she doesn't have the brain cells to process it.
No, you can't. That's medicine. Asaba brought it to use as proof when he was pretending he had a stomachache to get a sick day.
And that right there, even if Harumasa doesn't show up, is our third. He's a little bit more cunning about it, I guess, would be. Well, Miyabi's a lot more blunt, and Yanagi actually does her damn work and holds up a reputation like they should be as what I'm assuming is the top agents in all of the sections and yada yada yada. You get what I mean.
What? Deputy Chief, how did you know I was faking it? I mean, how could you accuse me of that?
So it's funny because we actually do have a spectrum here. We've got solidly against, we have aloofly against. That's not a word, but you get what I mean. It's they're opposites, and you have Harumasa dead in the middle, and Yanagi having to wrangle all 3 of them.
Because the sick leave request you submitted last week had a photo of this exact same box. I've rejected tonight's leave request on behalf of the chief, so don't forget about your night shift.
He's tricky. That's more than the other 2 are. He's got to make up for it. The other 2 are blunt and stupid, respectively, presumably. We'll probably get more information later, but that's the impression that I have right now. Harumasa's got a bit of a bag. He's been around the block a few times, and so has Yanagi. And we have another sort of reflection here where we have maturity and honest work being the heads of the coin, and do everything in your power to, as convincingly as possible, get out of work on the side of tails. We get another sort of cross situation. I'm pretty sure you could let's see, hold on. There's going to be something else here that hasn't quite clicked yet, because I know Yanagi and... No, I'm going crazy. Everybody else is everybody else does shock, and Shokaku's the other one that does I almost said cryo. Turning out the bickering behind her, a mix of immaturity, calm reasoning, and fakes. I'd probably say Miyabi is the sole focused on the aspect for duties while being. That could be it. I know she has a bit. Well, judging by the katana and being anime girl Fox Virgil, I'd imagine she has a little bit more of a. I don't care about the specifics or the busy work. I just want to go out and defeat the evil or something like that. It'll sort itself out in a minute, I'm sure. The tall deputy chief of the intelligence officer kept her poised, friendly smile as she turned back to the visitor. Pretty much on the money there. Yeah,
No.
I mean, that's just good character design then. If you can look at somebody and get a good read of, yeah, I have an idea of what this person's about, but you're missing a lot of the specifics, then you've got a good character design. Forgive me, now where were we?
You were saying you're no different from the other task forces?
Except I have to wrangle 3 idiots every day for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone's personalities are just a little more distinct. So let's get to the matter at hand. What did you want to discuss?
And because the first thing that we get told about Yanagi is how much more modest she is compared to everyone else, we're going to have to deal with a lot of this sort of talk where she is being the bigger person and acting a lot more modest compared to all the other Section 6 members and being a good example.
Oh, right. I'm here on behalf of the HIA to invite Section 6 to participate in a test of our latest next-gen VR system. All the necessary application processes have already been confirmed with the higher-ups.
Okay, so they're going to get there, they're going to do the VR training, they're going to get in there, they're going to get trapped in there and have to break out because of the whatever the null proxy or whatever his name was traps them in there. I honestly put Asaba in the same category as lazy as Dexter Griff from Burning Blue. He's crafty, but doesn't... Yeah, him. His name will come up in a minute. When he's needed in action, he pulls through. Yeah, I mean, that should be all of them. I imagine that's all of them, but we will see in time. I forgot what I was talking about. Anyways.
Ah, so that's what it is. Yes, I did receive a note from the department head, assisting our partner organization in refining their new VR system by entering the virtual space as test users to evaluate system performance.
Putting us in Yanagi's shoes is also basically the only option that the writers had, because putting us in the shoes of Harumasa or Miyabi or Shokaku means we are going to be completely divorced from the actual conflict until it is basically in our surrogate's lap.
But if I remember correctly, it said it would be voluntary. If you'll allow me to ask everyone first.
If participating in this means I can skip the debriefing, I'm in.
Girl, surely there are other ways that you can skip out.
Do we get to go to the HIA club? Oh, they've got snacks there. I want to go.
Incredibly simple and pure-hearted. Somewhere in the middle.
Doing the VR test means I can skip my shift, right? Count me in.
Okay, so these two are in the same camp this time, and I imagine it's going to be a lot of cases like this and Harumasa bouncing back and forth between being closer to Miyabi and closer to Shokaku with his answers. We'll see.
They always come together in moments like this.
Yep.
All right, as you can see, Section 6 is willing to participate in the VR test. We'll head to the specified address. We look forward to working with you.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic! I'm gonna tell everyone at the office that it was my professional communication skills that got Section 6 to work with us. Maybe I'll even sneak a selfie as a souvenir.
Oh, fuck off.
You're thinking out loud again. And this is a classified area, so taking pictures is prohibited.
Modest, well put together. Keeps the... Yanagi is going to be the straight man to everyone in this chapter, it seems.
Gasp!
I don't like you. I hope I never see you again. I'm praying I never see you again, but there's like a 30% chance that you are the actual antagonist. We'll see. All Special Operations Section 6 arrive at HIA. We're so grateful everyone from Section 6 could spare some time to assist us in collecting data for the VR system. Thank you so much. I'm in charge of the test today. It's nice to meet you. We just met. Unless you're a different person who looks exactly the same as... I mean, we were just talking about twins existing. We should be thankful. We should be thanking you. It's very nice to be working with you. I heard you're back. I heard way back that you were Miyabi's most trusted person. She's entrusted almost everything. No, all the paperwork and liaison tasks to you. Yep. So it's no exaggeration to say that you're the one who actually bears the responsibilities of the Chief of Section 6. There's going to be some drama there, too. You can, honestly, you can, again, kind of trace it back to the thing I was talking about before, where there's a divide between Section 6, the public security officers, and Section 6, the celebrities, where, by the books, in this case, from the information that we have, Yanagi's the actual chief, but just to be trivial for Yanabi and... Oh yeah, I'm not saying there's no reason for them to go along with it. I'm saying I wasn't saying anything about that, actually, but... And the, celebrity-coded Section 6, it's as they present. Miyabi is the leader in the org chart and is also the one who does all the cool stuff and does the most dangerous missions, so obviously she's the most popular. And yeah, there's nuance there that's fun. In addition to your duties as an intelligence officer and the daily tasks of the deputy chief, you have to do so much in the place of the chief. It must be exhausting, living like that, right? When you open your eyes in the morning, you probably don't want to go to work at all. And now this is where she says, oh no, I actually do like working a lot. Can confirm at the very least in game with her. Yeah. God damn it. Quite straightforward, aren't you? Sorry, did it come off as too straightforward? Actually, I've always had trouble grasping the sense of distance with my colleagues, which is an issue on my part. Okay. I don't see how that's relevant, but I appreciate the information about the side character who we're never going to see again unless he's actually the antagonist. It's not a weakness. We have people in Section 6 who are far more set in their ways, but they're all out experts when it comes to completing things in the work domain, and that's good enough. Okay, so him rambling and talking down on himself was just an excuse for Yanagi to hype up everybody else. Okay. One of my responsibilities is to handle unnecessary communications between the scope of their job. Like what you're doing now. What we're doing now. Thank you for understanding. Are you here to check up on how the new test preparations are going? We're all set up and ready to go here. Just bring everyone in. We can start the test anytime. I'll be waiting for you all at the club. We'll rally everyone. Now we gotta go talk to everybody. Haramasa's talking to a bunch of girls who are soliciting him on the road. Miyabi is presumably about to have pictures taken with the little girl, and you... something similar? We'll just start with Haramasa. First time I've ever been this close to Haramasa. You're so handsome, your hair's so soft, the guardian badge in your chest suits you so well, you smell so... Yeah, okay. Is it pheromones? It's definitely pheromones, right? Jesus. What type of girls are you into? Okay, yeah. This is gonna be... Haramasa is a heartthrob. Everybody thinks Haramasa is so pretty. All the girls love him. And like, you know. What brand of shampoo do you usually use? Where do you go for archery practice? Carbon fiber, fiberglass bows? Okay, like some of these are like actually meaningful questions that wouldn't be like super superficial. But still, like, geez. Take like 2 steps back. Do you have an old... And you just need to disconnect from the fandom entirely. Jesus. Seem pretty busy there, Asaba. Deputy Chief, save me. Okay. Is this going to be a sequence of Yanagi bailing all 3 of them out and proving that they all rely on her properly? Okay. Save you. You can be late for the week. But you can't be late for your weekend overtime. You have to submit your mission reports on time. My chest feels tight. What if I just happen to get sick over the weekend? Goodbye, then. Not to begin, without your bow and arrow, the city may be in grave danger. Tie things up with your fans fast. We're waiting for you at the club. Okay, yeah, he's hopeless. He's going to be stuck here basking in the compliments all day, but he doesn't... What are you two doing here? I should probably go talk to the two. Probably for a different reason than yours. Damn, you're just kind of... Okay. Yeah, I was taking pictures with a kid. I think you just limited the companion hall. Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, that's not a picture. That is much more significant. Thank you. You just eliminated the companion hall that killed my parents. I can now start a new life, and it's all thanks to you. I come here to express my gratitude. Fair enough. I want to become stronger if I work harder. Surely I'll be as strong as Lady Miyabi one of these days. How can I get powerful like you, Lady Miyabi? Tell me. You've been this powerful ever since you were a baby. What runs through your head when you draw your katana? The mysteries of martial power, the ultimate truth, the universe, or just what you were having for lunch? Weird question. When I draw my blade, I just think about drawing it. That's all. And now they all freak out because that is a very cool answer. Imagine it's just truly thoughtful. Process worthy of being New Eridu's guardian. So she is incredibly accomplished, which definitely adds to the idea that we're supposed to respect her. I know she's kind of front and center in all the other times that we've seen Section 6 work throughout the story. I know there's an intermission between Chapter 1 and 2, and there's another one before Chapter 3, or before Undercover R&B, but what a classic chief thing to say. Your pressure is already the combat test, and Miyabi is the one who bails herself out once she realizes that it's time to go. There's still fragments of the Null Force group that are at large, so we can't let our guard down. That is foreshadowing. The Null Force group is going to attack them when they're in the VR training. So I was thinking, hopefully, that we can wrap this up quick and easy. And now Shokaku is what? Garden. What happened to your daughter? She is now currently studying as a doctor in ether physics and only comes home on the weekends. And all she talks about is school this, school that. It's not cute at all. My daughter. Only livers have powerful detox functions. Doesn't matter if I eat food that's gone bad. She's referring to poison. You sweet summer child. Don't know whatever bears show up empty-handed in the long run and be a burden to them. That is also something to consider. Even though I'm really hungry, I don't want to eat anybody out of house at home. I want everyone to be happy when they come and meet me. Saku, are you an angel? You're definitely an angel, right? Okay. It's a braided bracelet that says Shokaku is the 10th cutest in the world. 10th cutest, it's impossible, or Shokaku has to be the number 1 cutest. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not sure how I feel about Shokaku's involvement as this. I think there's an angle that you could use for the sort of, like, toxic culture around child celebrities, but we'll see. I say we'll see a lot. If that's so, then I guess you should wear everyone's gifts then. Shokaku, the test is ready to begin. Please say goodbye to everyone and come find me at the club. Wish you could real soon, then head over. Okay. Honestly, remember all these interactions coming up is uncomfortable with Section 6 members, so probably minimal themes on fame/ego. Regarding Miyabi, she notably does not want more people to be like her, so imagine hearing a child asking how to be like that might not be the greatest. Yeah, all of these are very negative interactions. They are the nasty products of fame in different flavors. Haramasa gets an abundant amount of attention that he doesn't want. He wants to be left alone, let to live a quiet life, but he happens to be a handsome celebrity, so that is off the table whenever he goes out in public. I'll sort all that out when the information becomes relevant to me. Miyabi is the strongest, the coolest. Everyone wants to be like her, and naturally that means you're going to get some tragedy involved. It'd be kind of like if Dante met Nero, and Nero said, I want to be just like my dad that I'd never met, because I heard a bunch of stories about how cool he was. That is a deep crimson flag, and he would then do everything in his power to make sure that doesn't happen. But in Miyabi's case, she can't be there to sway everybody off of the path that she... That's not a good analogy. That's not the best analogy I could have made, but everything else is kind of eluding me. But you are right. These are all negative. These are really negative interactions for all of them, and that kind of feeds into my idea that this is all all 4 of them are commentary on celebrity culture. It could even just be that Yanagi is the manager insert, and the other 3 are the ones that I need to be focusing on for those sorts of comparisons. Miss Yanagi. I'm going to say, remember me. Even though I haven't talked directly, I remember there was a period of time when I saw you often. You even helped the staff maintain order when some citizens got a bit too excited, correct? Wow, you have such good memory. I couldn't follow Section 6's schedule recently because I was preparing for an interview. Seems the interview went well, yes? Yes, I achieved my dream working for the government and the mayor. But the job is in the Vulcan Quarter. I probably won't have my chance to see everyone from Section 6 anymore. Can I just say that Section 6 has always been my motivation? I want to protect the city just like you all in my own way. So before I leave, I want to take a photo with all 4 of you. I know this request is a bit abrupt. Of course, it would be an honor for us. Okay. What the... What are you 2 doing there? Oh, no, they're just getting in on the photo because it's everyone. Well, we obviously center it on Miyabi's face. Zoom in a little bit. You could center it right there, but then it cuts her eye out. This is for the best. Right there. We'll line it up on the crest of her chin. Belle, I'm sorry, you're getting the short end of the stick. Yeah, it turned out fine. In Section 6, thank you. Okay. So, I mean, Yanagi is definitely a celebrity in her own right in this case. She's a lot more... No, that goes for all of them. They are willing to accommodate this lifestyle, but not all of it. Like, they're perfectly fine being somebody people look up to and want, and people who inspire others to make positive changes in their life, but they don't want to be hounded about it or romanticized. Work with Vulcan Quarter will definitely go well. Cool. I doubt she will ever show up again. That is perfectly fine. She served her purpose. She didn't mention my name just now. Am I the only one who ever... Am I the only one who's... She didn't mention my name just now. Am I the only one who's everyone from Section 6? Aramasa with a bit of a little bit of ego. But I guess the ladies' man celebrity would want more attention for himself if he gets showered in it and keeps beating the overflow of it away. I'll call you that from now on. Chief, tell me, are you genuinely that clueless, or the evil's being great to grace the world in the last 100 years? Nagi, when are we going to the HIA Club for snacks? Shokaku just interrupts because she is a child and you cannot blame her for that. You must protect Shokaku. Everybody stays the fuck away from Shokaku. It's not for snacks, but for work. I believe they'll finish up the preparations. I'll go ahead. You all take your time to catch up. Cool. Is there anything else around here? In danger. Why did you say that? It's so... So you want to... I think you just like the sound of it, or it's nothing. Okay. Afterthoughts are important to gauge, too. Section 6 hasn't really faced an enemy like Nullface before. Nullface case for transfer for the hand for trespassing in the halls and falsifying carrot data, then assaulting and robbing their victims. Lots to talk about Nullface. We are going to see him before we leave HIA. Remember the last time my computer broke that took half a data center for tech? Last time your computer wasn't actually broken, Miyabi, you just had to plug it in. I didn't recall if that was happening. Yep. And you are still soliciting people for food. Always hungry every day, every hour. Every second I want to chomp at something that looks edible. There is something there to be related to the type of celebrity that she is. It could be just the general aspirations that get put on child actors to always shoot for more while they still have time and other stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with the culture. I'm going to have to do a whole lot of research for this when I actually get to the Section 6 video, I'm sure. But we'll see. Because you're still growing. Shokaku really was born long before you, long before. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Shokaku was a child. She is not older than Yanagi. I'm vetoing that. The writers can bite my ass. You were posted up.
Deputy Chief Tsukishiro, you're back! Is everyone from Section 6 ready to go?
Okay, so this isn't a one-off thing. He's the bad guy.
Yes, they'll be arriving here shortly. Since we have some time before we begin, there's something I'm curious about and would like to ask you if that's all right.
Hey, as long as the game understands and our fans understand. They'll be arriving here shortly. Since we have some time before we begin, there's something I'm curious about. I always want to make sure. There's something I'm curious about. Would like to ask you if that's all right.
Of course! Where would you like to start? Here's my electronic medical record with all my physiological information, and here's my knock-knock ID. Just scan it to add me as a friend. No verification needed. And this is my...
So Yanagi gets the super fans. Okay, yeah. She,
Oh, hold on. You misunderstand. I'm not interested in you personally. I just wanted to ask a few technical questions about the test.
I see. Sorry about that. I got a little excited there and misunderstood.
At least his BA is having fun.
But concealing your tears with laughter just makes you sound even more pitiful.
That is entirely true. Okay, so Yanagi is a lot more cutthroat. She is the manager, as far as I'm able to tell. We go all the way down to Shokaku. We'll put a note. Note actor. Innocent. Long life. Young mind. And defined by her relationship to others in Section 6. And specifically, she is aloof about not doing work. It comes naturally. Yabi is intent on not doing work. She has more important things to do than sit in on meetings. She has a lot of people who aspire to be like her, and that is bad in her eyes. Ramasa is a dirty, scheming, work-avoiding rat who will do everything in his power to get out anything he doesn't deem important. Ladies' man loves attention, but not like too much attention. You know? Cool. The plot as a whole, I'm still gonna put an asterisk on this. This is about showing the audience the damage and evil a proxy can do in the wrong place with the right power, because we're setting up for the conflict between Section 6 and Faith in the next chapter. Cool. He answers Yanagi's questions one by one with an overly cheerful yet seemingly tearful voice. Later, Yanagi holds a small briefing with her teammates who had just waved goodbye to their fans.
Our mission is to collaborate across departments to help the HIA test their latest VR system. Basically, the core feature of this new VR system is its unprecedented deep sync with sensory nerves.
Okay. Alright, so the hackers get their hands on the you die in the game, you die in real life technology while the Section 6 people are inside it, of course. I'll suspend my disbelief for that.
Simulations with such deep levels of immersion are better at tricking the brain into improved training results by convincing your body that a virtual experience is in fact real and not just visual stimulation. Of course, they've blocked off all pain sensors for this test.
Just pain sensors. This entire block of text, this is an excuse to get them into a good set piece.
The plan is to roll out this new VR platform to public security, the Defense Force, regular investigators, and even the general public. So a standardized value system needs to be developed. Our task is to enter the simulation and conduct comprehensive battles. The techs here will set our combat data as the maximum limit inside the system. Once we finish modeling all the virtual data, our mission will be complete. Any questions?
I've got a question.
Okay. One of the three of you wasn't paying attention. I'm guessing it was probably Shokaku.
I've already persuaded the staff to help us submit the task report after it's completed. So you'll just need to notify the director when we're done, Chief.
Miyabi wants things to be made as easy as possible for her.
No further questions from me.
And Yanagi's got it covered.
Me!
Shokaku's got a question.
The HIA will provide us with work meals and some snacks. I've asked them to allocate extra for you, Sakaku.
And Yanagi's on top of it. Okay, I need to make an explicit note about Shokaku's hunger.
Yay! You're the best, Nagi!
I have a question as well.
No, you may not take any leave. All right then, if there are no further questions...
And Haramasa is notably the least inclined to do work. The other two will do their best to get out of things that they don't like. Harumasa just doesn't want to work at all. Harumasa wants out of all of it. Also, sweet gravy, it has been an hour and we haven't even actually gotten to the starting conflict.
Wait,
This is gonna
Deputy
be
Chief, I wasn't asking about taking any leave.
Oh, my mistake. That's odd.
Odd? I think it's odd that you know the answer before even hearing the question. If I tried that with the girls in the intelligence unit, they'd think I was stalking them.
Okay, so what's your question?
How long are we supposed to conduct comprehensive battles?
There is no time restriction. It depends on the HIA's requirements. However, based on the design of this test system, the session will end automatically once we defeat all the test monsters.
Okay, and now we have the case of, okay, cool, that is the fastest, most efficient way of getting the work done. I need to do this with proficiency.
What's that book you're holding?
No? He's not going to say anything about that?
It's the technical manual for the VR system. I borrowed it from the staff. Most of the information I just shared came from it.
What does it say on page 273?
Is this just going to be some sort of random flex? What's... okay.
It covers the 3 methods for initiating safe mode within the system and an analysis of their applicable scenarios.
That's weird! You said that without even flipping through the book!
Oh, got it.
Did you
It's a
memorize
gag.
the whole thing? If you keep this up, you'll start losing your hair.
Shut up, Harumasa.
Yanagi, I want you to be the executor of my estate after I retire.
It's a little early to be planning for that, Chief. All right, let's put the strange questions aside and get ready to start testing.
Nagi, are there any unknown dangers in this virtual world?
Kind of on the nose, don't you think? And I mean, how would anybody know about unknown dangers in any sort of situation? They wouldn't be unknown in that case. But like, in case anybody had any sort of illusion that nothing was going to go wrong while they were in there, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
Don't worry, the HIA staff will be with us every step of the way.
Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo.
And also, I'll be here. I'll take care of everyone.
Yeah, you got a point. It is a pretty childish question. I'll be here, I'll take care of everyone. Yeah. She is mom, I understand. Now we gotta talk to everybody again. Or is it just Miyabi? Where's the goblin? Oh, there you are. I couldn't see you. You are just... Shikaku is just staring at a person. And soliciting them for candy in their pocket. Okay. Are you going to say anything, Miyabi? No, you're just gonna keep... You're just gonna stand there? Or are you gonna say anything? Okay. Well, welcome to all the guests to Section 6. You are free to explore before the official test begins. Just treat this place like your own home. VR test now? Okay. Take a 5-minute break, stretch your legs, get some water. I did say get some water. Make sure you're hydrated. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright. Proceed with the VR test? Yes, sirree. Just as it says in the manual, when everyone shouts the key phrase at the same time, the system will start loading up into the test stage. Oddly specific. It could be setting up for a case where you have to do the same thing to actually get out of the simulation. And they trap everybody in there by separating them. Yeah. Key phrase is, to protect the city, I, Professor Mimi, will become the light. So your name is Professor Mimi, I take. That's just an example. The cat who lives in our lab is called Professor Mimi. Not even hooking up to equipment or anything. They're just dropping straight in.
Whoa! This is so cool! It feels just like being outside! Oh! And I've got this!
Huh? Let me see that. It's got a realistic weight, too. All right, then.
My candy!
You bitch. You
My
can't do
weapon
that.
feels perfect too. Simulating it to this level. Well done.
Oh, wow, getting complimented by Biabi. I'll never forget this day. To make testing easier, I've added a progress marker for everyone. When it turns green, it means the background data collection is done.
And that's the sign we're done for the day, right?
Well then, let's begin the combat test.
Okay, so she is right-handed. Stance character. Okay, during combat, corresponding stance bonus is based on a current stance type. Electric damage in orange. And super armor. Use special attack after a certain hit, and you will do a special attack, and they will swap stances. Doesn't tell me what the other stance does. Energy, hold the thing to do a special attack. Sure.
The first batch of test targets has been deployed.
So it's rebels.
They talk less than actual rebels, which is good.
Recover your energy, Fukaku. Press the attack. Waste of time.
The second
I did
batch
forget
of
that it was
test
hold.
targets has been deployed.
It's a cereal! Even though they're fake.
Real or fake, evil must be slain.
Surrender. There's public security.
I'm sure the parry would
too?
matter more if this were,
Is this a training program for
Interesting.
horror readers?
I've always wanted to see what they can do.
you know, difficult content.
Perfect coordination. Waste of time. Such provocations don't go unanswered.
Test target deployed.
Okay. I'm noticing that we are already split up into pairs of two. Virtual Arena suddenly loses all its deadly aura as the snarling digital enemies freeze in place, striking poses. A slightly distorted voice from the staff echoes through the virtual space.
The data has been collected, and that concludes the test. Thank you everyone for your cooperation.
That's it?
That was a solid combat simulation. Almost too real. The downside is, it ended too quickly. Now I have to sit through that meeting when we get back.
I'd much rather slack off here than work overtime. Wait, that's not right. Even though my body's resting, my mind's been working overtime. I haven't slacked off at all.
You gotta jump through a couple of loops to get to that point, but sure.
This is cyber overtime. Mental exhaustion. Deputy Chief, what's another way to describe it?
Karma. But we did finish sooner than expected. Was the data collection successful?
Everything went smoothly. To avoid delaying everyone's work, we accelerated the back-end data modeling process.
I didn't realize that was possible. It wasn't listed in the technical manual. Good job, everyone. Do you still want a group photo? Since we're done early, I can arrange that for you.
She can arrange that for... Okay, yeah, she is the manager character.
Group photo? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. Didn't you say you wanted to sneak a selfie as a souvenir?
Oh, yeah, I did say that. But I know Section 6 is super busy. I wouldn't want to bother you with something so trivial. You could head straight back to hand.
Huh? We're heading straight back? Well, what about the meals?
We'll have the meals packed up and delivered to you. I'll bring up the logout menu now. Please hit confirm when you're ready.
Okay. So I feel like going with the question mark on his character name is kind of just giving it away that something bad's about to happen and that this isn't the guy who put us in here. But like, surely you could have just kept staff member there and then had it change after the fact once there was the big reveal.
Thanks. We'll log out right now.
So is this a fake logout menu that takes them deeper into the simulation? Is it just going to swap them into a simulation of new Eridu that they're going to have to figure out how to get out of? Semi-transparent dialogue box suddenly appears in the air with the system text asking, "Are you sure you want to proceed?" Everyone reaches out with their fingers towards the flickering confirm button, and then...
You have now logged out of the system.
Oh, hold on. Just a second. We're going to go ahead and... Bam. And so thanks everyone for their help. We'll definitely be putting Section 6's combat data to good use. I'm just glad that we can be of service. If it's alright, we'll be off now. Please head to the parking lot. There's an official car waiting for you, and we'll take you all back just like how we brought you here. Meanwhile... Really coming out. I've been waiting here since morning, and I really want to see Lady Miyabi again. Me too. I've got more questions for her. Moss. Sukaku might be hungry now. Should I order? Girl, don't order your celebrities takeout. That is some freak shit. Citizens, I understand how passionate you all are, but the Section 6 executive officers have important official duties and have to go back soon. Even if they didn't. They've been resting in the club's VIP lounge. VVIP lounge. Very important. So there's no point waiting here. You won't get any chance to meet them. I didn't expect all these people would still be waiting around even after we finished our restocking trip. Anyone in particular you want to wait for? Rather than a person, I'm more curious to learn what it's like inside the VVIP lounge. Okay. The Luminous Air parking lot. No sign of any vehicles around. Well, the last time there was something iffy going on with vehicles... I mean, if I had a nickel for every time public security was involved with some sort of criminal issue involving missing cars, I mean, you'd have 2 nickels. I'm certain if this is the direction the staff members pointed us towards had something happened. Just then, the rest of Section 6 arrives at the parking lot. I don't see any cars, so we walk back instead. And let's do it. Let's take a walk with patrol at the same time. Chief Shikaku, aren't you two a little too unfazed? The situation seems fishy any way you look at it. With the current predicament, let's rule them out one by one then. Wait, let's go back and ask the staff what's going on. His name's Fried Chicken? Please tell me I can pet him. I can't pet him? Bullshit. Anybody I can talk to at all? Nobody over here. Do you have anything to say? Nope. Do you have anything to say? You don't. Okay. We're going... Yeah, I mean, no cars, but still stoplights. I gotta stand here and wait for the fictional crosswalk to let me through. This is the immersive gameplay they... this is the immersive gameplay everyone wants. But she is right-handed, so everything here is protective. The extra arm guard, the decorations, it's to draw your attention to it because... She fights with a spear, so it is mostly... It's honestly mostly chest protection, if anything. It protects her upper body from anything as long as she's side-facing, which with a spear you would typically want to... I can do that on my own time. Staff who was hosting us before and the receptionist, they're all gone. I find this certain situation strange. I mean, I hope anybody would. If even our chief realizes that things are weird, then it sure must be the weirdest of the weird. It's just splitting into up to investigate his teams. What do you think, Chief? Let's do it. Asuba, you and Sakaku take the stairs. Yanagi, you come and check with me on the inside. I feel like the power difference here is a bit skewed. I feel like you should probably divide these up a little bit more evenly, but... Got it, Sakaku, come with me. Is there anybody here I can talk to? I mean, you two. No, Hermosa and I just went upstairs and we saw absolutely no one. Where's everyone gone? Checked and found no one. Just to be safe side. Just be on the safe side. You can go check again. I'll wait here. Just when we come in, nobody's using them, but all the machines are still on. Everyone gathers together. As expected, it's kind of creepy. This place is bustling just before, but now all of a sudden there's nobody around. Is this place haunted? By you? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. She set me up. There's no point in continuing our investigation here. Let's check outside. I agree with the chief's assessment of the situation. If things don't work out, we can always just walk back. I think we might have already come too far to for us to just walk back. Fair enough. Still figuring out what's going on. It's going to probably be... This will probably be our revelation. Or has everybody else disappeared too? I mean, it's as simple as this is a simulation of New Eridu that they're still in. Dreaming where there are no other people in Lumina Square. In the Lumina Square, I know the hot pot joint is buzzing like crazy, even at 3 in the morning. Children should be in bed by 3. Next time, you're not allowed to go outside. Still wait for snacks. Okay, so the game does acknowledge that she is a child. Why are you guys keeping a stand-up comedy routine in a situation like this? Are you two really that close? Never mind, not holding out any hope whatsoever. Let's still investigate thoroughly. I'll go check the shops down there. How about you two? I hope we aren't doing detective work for too long. We'll start with the closest one. Find anything unusual? It's not the look, Deputy Chief, the tactile path of my conscience. This tactile path of my conscience, one of them has to be wrong. What do you mean? You're kidding, right? Deputy's tactile path goes right across the road. There's no way this traffic light routine game is right. Roulette game is right. Given how often you've been absent, your conscience has been wrong for a while, so I thought you were defending the tactile path. So mean. Is there any significance in that? Probably not. Okay, we have duped trash cans. And then, I mean, yeah, there are two of them. Yes, this one, the one long compared to the other. Usually they saw. I usually long let them down at the same one. Just don't destroy public property, chief. This should be. That's for some question. Quickly large place before, but with the crowd gone, all the sounds, smells, warmth vanished, every trace of life and energy stripped away. It felt oddly eerie. It's just like.
It's just like being inside a hollow.
There we go.
Please stop reading my mind, Deputy Chief. This is really starting to scare me.
You're scared of an empty square?
No, I'm scared of how many times your mommy has seen right through my leave requests.
I mean, if they're just gonna say it, I have to write it down. Shokaku's mom, air quotes. I mean,
My mommy? I've only got a sister.
Let's share our findings on the investigation. Chief, have you got anything?
Nothing. No matter how much I wave my sword around, nobody's coming to take a group photo or a selfie.
also, now I have more questions about Oni physiology. That's a nice... That is a nice... What's the word? Not genuine, not authentic. I mean, it's just natural, right? That is a nice, natural way to get us to ask questions about what in the world their species does, if that is the innocent answer to someone jokingly calling Yanagi her mom. Also...
I couldn't find anyone either. Feels like I'd be hiding until my tummy started growling if I played hide and seek here.
Well, yeah, there's no one here to find you. Use your eyes.
Uh-huh. My tummy isn't growling.
Please don't let that be the nail in the coffin. Oh god, that would make 3, wouldn't it?
Why? I've been running around investigating all day. Why am I not hungry? Am I sick?
So, Kaku, do you really need to bug the Deputy Chief with stuff like this? Want to hear my theory about what's going on?
He's either going to be right on the money or so far off that I'm going to scoff at him.
Go on.
New Eridu has been hit by a deadly plague.
Scoff.
Everyone must have been evacuated from Lumina Square while we were running those combat tests. As carriers of the virus, we've now been... Miss Tsukishiro, you hit me! Not even the Chief has done that before! Chief, put your hands down. That wasn't an invitation for you to hit me too.
Aw, shit, we're slapping Harumasa. Let me in on that. Okay. The willingness to slap somebody is, I mean, that adds to the cutthroat image of the manager character that Yanagi kind of represents. Willing to slap the shit out of Harumasa. That is an important note that I need to keep track of.
Just because I was talking about the plot from a movie I watched last night doesn't mean you had to hit me.
That is true, but the way that it was that is true, but the way that it was phrased is I don't know, it leaves it open. You could interpret it either way, and we don't have any answers as far as one or the other. I also great. Now I'm going to be spending the rest of... Oh god, now I'm going to be thinking about comparing Section 6 to the Cunning Hairs because of all the conflict I know that we're going to get next chapter, and Harumasa mentioning goddamn movie references. This is going to be my whole afternoon. No, it'll be my evening. My afternoon is actually finishing this chapter.
My apologies. Did that hurt?
Huh? And you're asking me if it hurt? You sound like one of those mean homeroom teachers. Wait. No. It did not hurt. That's weird. I didn't feel anything.
Okay, so the slap wasn't... I can't read the slap as a normal slap. Also, I'll do everyone a favor. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Save some trouble, because I know it does a little bit better. There we go.
Just as I thought.
That should be fine.
This empty square we're in, the lack of fans hounding our chief, Sakaku's tummy, Asaba's lack of pain.
Okay, so those are the three tips that we get.
Instead of assuming thousands of people could be teleported away, let's begin with the assumption that the problem here lies with us.
And Yanagi gives us the actual information that is going to lead us to making some sort of development.
Are you saying we're actually...
Yes, we're still in the virtual environment. For some reason, we haven't been able to log out.
Okay, but I am still going to need them to present a conflict within the next 10 minutes, or it's drawn on too long without anything substantial happening.
I see. That explains a lot.
Our brains? Are they in danger?
That is a valid question.
Don't worry. Just in case, I can activate safety mode for everyone. I still remember the...
I'm sorry for running my mouth earlier, Deputy Chief. From now on, I'll fully support you memorizing the manual, and I'll buy you the finest hair conditioner on the market.
Okay, get me the latest shampoo from Carliche. All right, team. Let's head back to the HIA Club and try to find another way of logging out.
S-rank electric attacker, kind of, well, there's a difference in their sort of mannerisms. Ambi's kind of socially inept. Like, she tries to be extroverted, but often comes off as being either completely out of touch or... Well, I mean, completely out of touch. Constant movie references, and I'm thinking about the time that they were down on their luck in the hollow, like, staring their tragic ends dead in the eyes, and Ambi decided I should bite Billy's hand to try and cheer Nicole up. That kind of resonates with all the jokes that Harumasa makes. You could also kind of pin Nicole as the Cunning Hair's mom, with, you know, air quotes around that, and make them a more... Well, they're I guess you could... Could you smack... If you could smack Section 6 as a family dynamic. Damn. Because you get... One mom, 3 kids. You have the kid who has a very particular upbringing, who was reformed or honed their skills and talents for a new lease on life where they can do good for people. That kind of tags Miyabi with Nekomata. We already talked about the little bits of similarity between Ambi and Harumasa. I mean, like, that would leave Billy and Shokaku, which one's red, one's blue, one's tall, one's short, one's a robot, one's an Oni, one uses the biggest, most cumbersome melee weapon that anybody else can use. The other one uses, you know, dual pistols. He is Billy Kid, you're right. But that has nothing to do with it. Him... I'm gonna steal that. That's pretty good. Oh god, I'm gonna have so much to say when we get to chapter 5. I know it's gonna be a short one. I've heard so much about how short it is, but I'm gonna milk every single scene, and I'm not even gonna try. All right.
Safe mode activated.
Safe mode activated.
All right, you're up. Sukaku, come here.
Yeah, I am somewhat aware of that, and I want to try and keep any spoilers out of the airspace. I don't want to talk about anything that isn't either staring me dead in the eyes or that I have encountered before. I know Ambi's got an S rank. I know Trigger exists. I know about... I've absorbed a lot of stuff about the present stuff and the coming stuff from, through osmosis. I'd like to keep it that way. There's a lot of just stuff about found family all throughout ZZZ. I'm not gonna make a big deal about anyone or any one faction being a found family, because you can kind of label all of the factions as that. Now you're good, man. No worries. You didn't really spoil anything. It's not like you posted 2 paragraphs about the conflict and what it actually means in the grand scheme of things. I know Ambi is kind of like adopted by Nicole into the Cunning Hairs because of stuff, but that's where I'm leaving it.
Okay, Nagi.
Ah, you're destroying shit. Let's see. They're all destroying shit.
Sukaku, Asaba, what's wrong?
Whoa! No! Nagi, why isn't my body listening to me?
Because you've all been hacked, because you're in the virtual space, and the proxy that you guys are talking about through the entire first portion of this mission is in your brain.
Oh, she's right! My body, it's like it's being controlled by something else!
What? Chief, are you okay?
I'm not. I had the urge to kill you about 5 minutes ago. Yanagi.
Leave it to me, Miyabi.
I mean, that does kind of show a level of closeness, that they get into a bad situation and they realize, this is best for all of us if the one person this isn't affecting just knocks us out cold. And we trust them to knock us out cold and handle everything while we're unconscious. That is some Jesus take the wheel type shit.
So this truly isn't the real world. Someone's tampered with things, preventing us from leaving.
It just kind of leaves the question of, why is Yanagi the one that isn't affected? Because it would make sense to me that Miyabi would be the one that wasn't affected because of the little ghost in her sword. You could pull something over our eyes like, oh hey, she's already being possessed by the vengeful spirit of the katana passed down by her family, and a little bit of technical, remote controlling isn't going to affect her or something, but we'll see. It's Yanagi time, and I imagine we're probably going to be stuck with only her for the foreseeable future.
Hollow Special Operations Section 6, Heroes of New Eridu. I'm afraid no one in this world needs your salvation.
Well, yeah, dumbass, because we need to go back to the other one.
That logo, it's...
You're going to be trapped here until your brains shut down.
Oh.
You didn't do a very good job knocking them out.
You're finally awake, Sukaku. Feeling pain anywhere?
Unless we just had a big time lapse.
My head still hurts a little.
Then you didn't hit her hard enough. If somebody trusts you to knock them out, you knock them out right. Come on, Yanagi.
Looks like the pain feedback in the test system has been fully engaged. I'm sorry for being a bit rough earlier. I had to make sure to stop everyone.
I mean, she did. She is, willing to knock everyone else out for the sake of their safety and survival. Everyone else is willing to let her knock them out. That's a lot of trust. That's a lot of trust.
It's okay, Nagi. My headache isn't because of you. More like from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like we're all in the same boat.
With splitting headaches?
A massive headache, then losing control and attacking teammates.
Now we can be sure our failure to log out of the VR system was not an accident, but a deliberate act. While everyone was unconscious, the enemy sent a threat.
Ruby tells her teammates about the confrontation about the unknown voice.
That was brazen. Any idea who it could be?
Well, I mean, she saw the logo, recognized the logo. It's probably that Null Void or whatever we want to call him. I don't know what his name. I forgot what his name was. I don't care. They'll say it here in another second or two.
It's just speculation at this point. But the fact that the enemy was able to display information in front of us proves they've gained partial control over the VR system.
Uh-huh.
So waiting for rescue isn't a good idea. But if we act recklessly, we might fall into the enemy's trap.
But can they really set a trap without even showing up?
They just did.
This is a virtual world, and we're just data entities fully synced with our senses. Whoever controls the system is like a god here. They can do whatever they want.
The enemy delivered a threat at the risk of exposing their identity. Or perhaps that's what they want us to believe.
I don't like, or perhaps that's what they want us to believe. Like, that's always an assumption that you have, that is reasonable to make in cases like this. False information is valid information, especially if you're able to identify it, but this feels... I want to see where this leads. This feels like a cop-out.
What do you mean?
As long as we can't figure out what they're capable of, the enemy will seem like a god. They flex their power to scare us, leaving us wondering what they can do within the system. That's their plan.
Or, you all could start getting out of line and they could just kill you? I feel like there is further testing required before you can say something like that so confidently. But sure, I'll suspend my disbelief and keep moving.
They want to restrict our movements and keep us in check.
Well, yes, but presumably they also have the power to do so. Until proven otherwise. That is a bit impulsive, a bit irresponsible. You are kind of counting for 4 very important lives right now, but we'll see where it goes.
How did you come to this conclusion, Yanagi?
That's what I want to know.
Our enemy threatened to destroy our brains by eliminating our data entities. Their attempt to seize control of our bodies and attack our allies was one such effort.
I don't think... A threat was never made, though. We didn't, like, we're hearing all of this, and we're hearing the stakes and the consequences of being found out or losing here from Yanagi's mouth instead of the mastermind. And I feel like we should have had just 5 minutes. 5 minutes, you could do the slideshow or even this, whichever one's lower effort. You gotta make the villain talk to Yanagi and give her some information so that we are privy to it as well and not having to just assume everything that she's saying is true. If we're playing off the villain has a god complex and is getting overconfident, surely they'd be willing to gloat a little bit. Whatever.
But if they had truly seized full control of this system, they could have resorted to far more efficient methods.
The only expansion of this line of thought I'm going to accept is that she knows something from memorizing the handbook, and...
They could have simply destroyed our data, implanted a virus, ordered us to end ourselves, or even eradicated us along with this realm. But they didn't. So it's very possible they simply can't, because they don't have full control over this system.
The "they can't do it because they haven't done it yet" argument will never cease to annoy me.
That's possible, but maybe they're just not as devious as you and haven't considered doing it.
Maybe they have other plans or something like that. Or maybe this plan goes bigger than all of that and they need to make sure that they get more than just the 4 of you in here before they go through with something. I don't know.
I'd say that's impossible, because they're up against us, Section 6.
Okay, sure.
They can't beat us in the real world, so they've gone to great lengths to trap us in the virtual world. We have the most promising Void Hunter in New Eridu, so if I were the enemy, I'd want to take us out quickly.
And they have completely restrained your movements. You are... yeah?
The more they bluff, the more it proves there's still something we can do.
You're the most cautious person I know. I've never seen you take action based just on speculation.
Yeah, I'm with Harumasa here, and I like the idea of, okay, the cool and calculated one takes the big risk and carries everyone to victory. That's classic. Big fan of that. But we gotta see that she's a bit impulsive too. At least once or twice before we get to this moment. Because now it feels like she's... Yeah.
I think I'm the most cautious person you've ever met, too.
I do like that line, though.
What you've just heard are speculations from the most cautious of people. But I'm not taking risks because I'm reckless. Quite the contrary. The situation is dire, and we'll have to take the initiative to survive.
I like that argument, too. This should have come first. They should have tested a couple of things, pushed some limits, because, you know, they either risk everything and get out, or they don't risk anything, and they lose anyways. Come on, restructure it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's been a while since you spoke to Harumasa in such a serious tone, Yanagi. This reminds me of our first days in Section 6.
This better not be a flashback.
Everyone, do you trust me?
Okay. And now the answer is obviously yes, she's the mother figure. She's the one who's been carrying this entire arc so far. Everybody has proven that they rely on her and that they can count on her. This is... Obviously the answer is yes. All three of them let her knock them out and deal with this and were prepared to let her deal with this on her own. Obviously they trust her.
Well, you've laid it all out.
I don't have...
Like Harumasa said, this is all just speculation without any solid evidence. If we're wrong, things could get worse, and there's no turning back.
If you're wrong, things could get worse, and there's no turning back. If you don't do anything, things are gonna get worse anyways.
Aw, Nagi's tail is drooping. Oh wait! Nagi doesn't have a tail!
But I have faith in you. As the chief, I'll take full responsibility for whatever happens. Just tell us what to do.
Thank you, everyone. As for what we should do, I'm sure you all remember in the previous combat test, there were still 3 monsters left to defeat.
So now we have to track down the 3 monsters and wipe them out, because that'll automatically kick them out of the game.
Yeah. They said they'd already gotten the data they wanted before we could take them down, right?
Exactly. And do you remember the briefing? Once all test monsters are defeated, the test will automatically come to an end.
Okay. It feels... This whole setup does feel really artificial. I just... I don't like this chapter so far.
Got it. So we need to go back to the test stage and finish off the last 3 enemies.
This is the best approach given the situation. But I'm sure our enemy won't just leave them there like sitting ducks. They have partial control over the system and will stop at nothing to eliminate...
Are you worried, Nagi?
No. It's our enemy who should be worried.
It's a good line. Needs a better setup.
Are you hearing this, you shady coward? You're messing with the elites of New Eridu.
Okay. Fortunately, my sword is still effective in the virtual world and it barely drains any stamina. What do you got for me? I was just wondering. I wish they did too. I wish they found out that they could be so much more dynamic here. If you want to... Obviously, we still have more chapter to get through, but the goal here is to familiarize ourselves, is to get the audience familiar with Section 6, specifically getting us familiar with them as a force to contend with, because... as far as I know, at least, they are kind of the antagonists of the next part. No spoilers or anything. So you put them in a situation where their opponent is, as they mentioned, effectively God. and you show us how they win anyways. And I'm not doing it. I believe that we don't have much time left. I don't like my brain shutting down. Let's try to defeat the enemy quicker and find out. We never heard them say that their brain was going to shut down. The bad guy never said his plan or what was going to happen to them if they didn't cooperate. He never made demands. He never did anything. They just assumed, hey, he's going to shut our brain down if we don't do anything. We don't have a quota. We don't have a time limit. We don't have things that are going to happen to us. We haven't tested anything. Oh my god. I just thought of something else. Yanagi, you successfully enabled safe mode, didn't you? Correct. What about it? Your virtual data cannot be melded with. In a worst case scenario, you have a better chance than us of making it back to reality. Please do not say such things. Why? I will wait for you. I trust you'll come back for us no matter how dangerous it might get. I'm past the virtual world. Shimi and Yabi will fight to the very end, waiting for your return. Okay, that is good characterization from Miyabi. But I feel like, again, given the situation where they all agreed Yanagi needs to knock us out and figure things out, we trust her already, all three of them would say the same thing. And that makes it lose a little bit of its... That makes it lose a little bit of... It's a little bit less special. It's a good moment. It's a good line. It's a good sentiment to share, and I like Yanagi's reaction. Getting to see a stoic character like her almost reduced to tears is always... That's a very sharp knife to have in any writing toolbox, but it feels forced here. I like it in a vacuum. I don't like it in execution. Hi, Shokaku. Nothing to eat. I'm not hungry at all. That's a good thing, right? Ask about something. Somebody doesn't feel hungry at all. What a strange feeling. The good kind of strange, the bad kind. I'm not sure. The feeling of not being hungry, it's different from feeling full. My heart is empty, but I don't feel the need to fill it up at all. It's awful. I'm never full. The one who never gets full. That's meant to be me. Write that shit down. I'm never full. The one who never gets full. That's meant to be me. Yeah, that is a character thesis right there. Keep on surviving. I had to eat many precious treasures. Everything I ever loved, I turned into my own flesh and blood. Yeah, this is a character thesis. Again, I like it in a vacuum. I feel like it's a bit misplaced, but we're not done yet. If I don't even want to eat anymore, that I don't know where all those precious treasures, where they've gone. Okay. This is a... Shokaku will be out of here soon. Let's get out of here. We can go and get... Well, it's delicious. I'll fight to the death for my kebabs then. Okay. Then... Yunagi's probably going to get out. She's probably going to... well... Where's Haramasa? There you are. Only person I gotta talk to. What? Thanks for trapped in the virtual world. When we wake up without sort of change beyond recognition. We can't even log out via safe mode with your help. Our current situation should be within the bounds of expectations, Saba. Yeah, besides, we managed to secure your virtual data permissions when you were... Might all lose control and start attacking you at any moment. So are you sure you want to be speaking to me while standing so close? You could take care of me anytime you wanted. That's not what I meant. It's just a purely objective analysis. The closer you are, the less efficient your bow and arrows become. Good point, but even so, don't get any closer than we are now, okay? Wasn't planning to. Okay. You know, aloof, caring, knows that he's a danger, but likes to play it off. That was a better interaction than... Yeah, it works in context, it works out of context, it's good. Now, what was this data stuff? Hello, yes. View data status. Never good at activating that special marking ring. Turn it off now. Relationship is still effective in virtual worlds. Stamina. Okay. I guess view data status is nothing. Okay. Proceed with the VR test now. Get us in there. Goal is to restart the test stage and eliminate the remaining test monsters. Everyone, are you ready? City. Prepare the city. We get in there. I'm sure there's... There we go.
Huh? Why do you change places?
It seems the enemy has access permissions to allow them to change the stage environment.
Turn down!
A joint effort. There's a test target right up ahead.
Huh. Still bouncing around. Did I miss?
The feel of the strike is fine.
The enemy is tampering with monster data in the background.
Test subject to data error. The mastermind has gained partial access to the VR systems and can tamper with the internal data of test enemies. When defeated, these alternate enemies will explode, dealing area damage around them. Okay.
Perfect coordination. Everyone, watch out! These monsters are cheating.
I mean, they could be cheating a little bit better.
Waste of time. Perfect coordination.
Making them explode is nice and all, but now like an evasion farm.
We're at a disadvantage in a drawn-out battle. Let's go after the target first.
Help is here!
Weak spot located.
Just don't blink!
In pursuit. Resistance.
Okay, the mask is cool. I need to note down that Shokaku has a mask. Has a mask. Seems pretty simple. That is always important. Every single time. Even if it is just a flashy thing that she puts on during her ult, there is significance to it. I guarantee it.
Nagi, I see it! Hey, stop right there!
We got a little bit of health juice.
Yep. Such provocations don't go unanswered.
Taking down cheating enemies? I impressed even myself.
I'm enjoying the fight too.
Avoiding the fight like this. It must be one of the missing test monsters.
I'm always sprinting.
Found you. Huh? This old trick?
Now, she didn't have to say it was an old trick, but
Chief Miyabi, now! There's no hiding instinct. You know how to leave this virtual space. Talk.
You're never leaving.
We're back in the HIA room again!
Whew, I'm exhausted.
Nagi, you did it!
That's the deputy chief for you.
Well done.
I was originally going to do something talking about their choices of weapon and how that's reflected in them, and I think I'm still going to do that, but yeah, we'll see. To answer your question, honestly, he should cheat. He should cheat way more than he does. He should be abusing the shit out of this, because doing that and having these four overcome it anyways makes them more impressive. So when we inevitably have to go against them in the next chapter, it's like, what do we even do? I'm half mad. I'm half hoping Miyabi does a full-on Virgil and just cuts them, like, brute force cuts them out. Just because, like, that is the sort of dread you want to put in our stomachs the moment we realize, oh wait, these aren't our friends anymore. I see it. Is this how... So we can learn the enemy's weakness. I'll give your judgment. Who's be correct? I need to write down, because I do have a lot to say about that. That is this old trick response to the iRobot reference. Right? I mean, he's not using his arm anyways. But I think as far as it, like, I think as far as indirect characterization goes, this old trick, Yanagi just, oh, yeah, I've seen this a billion times before, and walking down the iRobot gallery and immediately solving the problem, that is really good characterization for her. And it paints the picture you want to paint with her without shoving it down our throats. Hey, I was just raising a very reasonable counterpoint. Arguing is bad, okay? You gotta have a bit of innocence to interject when you got... I mean, it nets out to two... it nets out to 2 adults, right? 1, half, none. Yeah. Okay, next time I'll definitely follow the Deputy Chief's order. Happy now, Shikaku. Yep, Haramasa is the best. Thank you, everyone, for giving me your trust. Judging on our enemy's reaction, our plan seems to be effective. If everyone's still feeling up to it, then I suggest we strike with the Iron's Hat and seize our chance to catch the next runaway. Let's do that. The longer we wait, the higher the chance something goes wrong. So we're in a gauntlet right now. Please get ready. Let's enter the test environment once more. I'm primed to think that we're going through this and it's going to be Yanagi proving how capable she is with all 3 of these, but it would make more sense if all 4 of them had a different chance to shine. That was Yanagi's. Next we get Shokaku's. Then we get Harumasa's, and then the big bad appears and Miyabi takes care of them. And that's how the game shows us. Oh yeah, this is what they look like in action. It's a completely different thing. What do you have to say to me? Good thing about the battling in the virtual world is that my quiver has endless arrows. I can shoot as much as I like. View data status. I mean, color change. That isn't good. Colors change. This isn't good. So green, yellow. I think I have to track this. Surely I have to keep track of this. Red. Black's the color hasn't changed. Green, yellow, red. Cool. After the quick bit of preparation, the squad is ready to recite the key phrase and enter the next test.
Do you remember the key phrase to start the test?
Considering you all just said it.
Yeah, it was that cool one. To feast on the city's delights. Or something like that.
No, Sokaku. I don't think it was more like to shine the light of justice, eliminate all evil. Yeah, something like that.
I mean, that's
just the version you wanted, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
The correct phrase was, to protect the city, I shall become the light.
And now he gets whisked off into the VR thing and everyone goes chasing after him.
It's rare for Asaba to remember such details, especially at work. You can recite the slogan this time.
That would have been a funny and a pretty acceptable way to put us in Harumasa's shoes for this next outing, but it looks like we're still going to stay with Yanagi.
Wait, so you guys conveniently forgot because you were embarrassed to recite it? Oh, fine, I'll do it. But don't stare at me. It'll make it even more embarrassing.
With a mix of reluctance and embarrassment, Haramasa stands awkwardly, half committing to the pose. An unnatural glow slowly envelops his body, and sharp details of his virtual avatar begin to dissolve into pixelated blocks, blending into a bright white halo. Moments later... Ah, damn, you're right. I completely forgot to consider a release order. Yeah, the only two... I almost said battle suits. That kind of shows you where I'm from. The only 2 agents that were out when this came out were Yanagi and Sokaku. Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine then. I'm cool hanging out with these two for a while. It'll ease us in. Running into a white halo moments later.
Why isn't the stage activated? Did I mess up the words, Enna?
I mean, sounds like a shit show to me, but... Wait, but you play as Lighter in the Sons of Caledon chapter. That's so dumb. Okay, whatever. Hello, Haru Masabu. You are staying like that as long as I can keep you there. Not original. Really? I mean, hey, if they added it after the fact, I'll take that. That's just diligent game design. But in that case, they probably could have done the same for this chapter.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to make the most of what you have. Jeez, I can't believe Harumas is a Bangboo now, and he is never changing back. Unbelievable. He will somehow be even more popular.
Why are you all staring at me, Enna? And why are you all so tall, Enna? Wait, why am I talking like this, Enna?
I say we give him 2 guesses.
Asaba?
What's going on? Is this some kind of prank, Enna? Of course I'm me.
Haramasa turns to face the wall, and in the glossy reflection of the door, he sees an adorably round figure staring back at him.
What? Enna?
Harumasa turned into a Bangboo.
Do not let his fangirl see him like this. You will never see him again.
Hold on. No. Wait. But why? Where's my body? Is this for real? Did I actually turn into a Bangboo, Enna?
At least in the game.
I mean, sure, my old body wasn't perfect, but these stubby arms and this clumsy body, I'm totally useless in now.
Is Harumasa self-conscious? Hold on. Self-conscious? Question mark? Doesn't... I'll have to review that.
Aw, cheer up, Harumasa. You're not useless. You're the best.
Now's really not the time for that, Enna.
I am going to have to look into what those hand signs mean, because I'm assuming they all have one. Harumasa's got the fists. Miyabi's got it across her sash. Shokaku has, I forgot where it was, but it's there. And I'm sure Yanagi's got it somewhere. We're going to look at her design here in a second. Figure out the hand stuff. I wouldn't be too surprised if the Bangboo were Muppet inspired. They got that same sort of floppiness to them.
It's that person.
The person who should have been involved and threatening everybody for the past, like, half an hour, yeah.
The know-it-all intel officer, dragging everyone down with her.
Literally nothing bad has happened since Yanagi has taken the helm. What are you talking about?
Just as planned. My strategy worked. The enemy made a mistake. Pfft, keep deluding yourself.
Well, now I'm just gonna... Well, now I'm with Yanagi here. You're gaslighting.
Thanks to your foolishness, those battles gave me all the data I needed to take over this system, and soon to take over you.
See, that's a good threat. This threat should have been made like 20 minutes ago when it was just him and Yanagi. That is how you get them to sit still and not do anything while you do everything. You make it seem like you lost. You're like, damn it, you guys, I had you, but I messed something up, and now you don't have access to the 3 enemies that I would have needed you to defeat in order to take over everything. That's how you do false information. And oh my god, they had something. Oh my lord, I'm gonna have to make a whole thing about this in the video. False information and assumptions about evil, the relationship between party and enemy, and how not to close the distance. Your conflict. Cool.
Your teammate's data model is complete. I've made some small optimizations to it. Soon, he'll be on a fast track to brain death.
So, okay.
What do you want from us?
This conversation should have happened like 45 minutes ago.
Didn't I tell you? I want revenge on the invincible Section 6.
And this shit should have been in like the opening scene. Oh my god. I'm gonna be so upset if we're like 2/3 or even 3/4 of the way through this chapter. And we're just now getting the villain's motivation. Oh my lord.
That archer was the first. Next is the kid, and then the pride of the Hoshimi family. And you, the know-it-all intelligence officer, I'll make sure you're the last one.
Okay. Keep it coming.
I want you to watch as your teammates, under your leadership, walk step by step towards the...
Bang, and your spitting blast echoes out as Shikaku raises... He picks up Harumasa and hits him into the TV. Okay. I would prefer to gather that information myself. I know all that information exists. I have my opinions about it, but I would rather... But if you have tips, like more of this is explained in X bit of side content, that's perfectly fine. Just don't tell me what it is. Like, obviously, I'm going to learn more about Nicole's backstory if I do her companion events or whatever. But if there's a specific something that is relevant to what I'm saying, I mean, if I can cite a source, I'll cite a source. I just got to know what the source is, and so I can go and consume it on my own. I gotta write some stuff down for a second. What was I doing? Conflict, false information, relationship between party and enemy, and how to close the distance. Organizing information to maximize impact and why you shouldn't put the villains... See trust event and trailer. Is it in his character? Is it in his agent story at all? He doesn't. No, he has an agent story. Doesn't? Or am I losing my mind? I could just be tripping balls. I know there was something somewhere. I'm pretty sure he has an agent story. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. It's whatever. Organizing information to maximize why you shouldn't put the villain's thesis and scheme in the middle of... Yeah, see, I am right. I'm not crazy.
Sukaku?
Sukaku.
Don't listen to that ugly loser, Nagi. I don't really understand what it was talking about. But I do know one thing. It was showing its face now because it's panicking.
Again, you're making... Yeah, I feel that. I mean, hey, I'll be making a point to do some character stories eventually. I might even do them pretty soon. Who knows? Yeah, probably. Yeah, this is fun. I don't really understand what this is talking about, but I do know one thing. It's showing its face now because it's panicking. I don't like this for the same reason Yanagi was talking about it. I feel like that is a bold assumption to make, and it's reasonable. I can squint my eyes at it and it works, but it's really it's kind of unfounded. Yeah. I'm giving Shokaku a pass because she is a child. She is immature. She's more impulsive. And I can give it even more of a pass because it's coming after Yanagi's own deciphering of that, but I still feel like I still feel like you need a little bit more evidence for it to click. Sokaku here is Angie. Yeah. There's no R there. She is Angie. So it makes sense that she would say something outspoken like that. It doesn't make sense that Yanagi would have, but we're already well past that.
Hey! Is that why you smashed me through the TV screen, Sokaku? Oh?
I told you, I'm slowly seizing control of this system. Soon, I will be the god of this world. If I want it restored, it will be restored. And if I want you dead, you will die.
I really wish they just went whole hog and said, yeah, he won. You guys are birds in a cage right now. You are at his complete mercy, and they got out anyways. You gotta be... it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me.
I get it now.
Too bad. It's already too late.
That means you're admitting it yourself. You haven't taken over this system, and you don't have the power to change the rules.
See, that is a good inference. This conversation should have happened like 30 minutes ago when it was just the two of them. I swear to God. And then everything else makes sense and we can just go. That is a fine inference. They gave you information. You interpreted that information as it is, to be more accurate and to not be so biased against you. And that's how you get the motivation to keep going.
It's reassuring to see the rules in the technical manual still apply.
Mm-hmm.
If we kill all the test monsters, it will trigger the end of the test.
Mm-hmm.
We're heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. That's all. 30 minutes ago, and we're good.
You've provided me with very useful information.
And they should have provided you with this information 30 minutes. Okay, I'll stop.
You think you're so clever. If that's your conclusion, then you're even dumber than I thought.
And at this point, we can stop paying any mind to what's-his-fuck. We don't care. He is no longer the biggest... He is no longer as much of a threat as we thought he was.
Let's see if you're still smiling the next time we meet.
Let's begin the VR test. Sokaku, because she still has a lot to learn about the world. Nagi, we can't let these bad guys go. The more it doesn't want us to fight, the more we have to fight. But perhaps that's precisely what the enemy wants us to think. But just like a game of chess, not chest. Our enemy may be planning several moves ahead in advance. I don't think so. Indeed, we don't have enough intel right now, so we can't rule out any possibility. So now, are you still confident in your judgment? There is reason to be more confident in the judgment than ever before. I've never had confidence in my judgment. Okay, so that is the payoff to the setup. Keep it going. As number one on the brain death leaderboard, it really is heartwarming to hear you say something. ZZ is funny sometimes. Right? Look, I'm just out here trying to play a good game that has good writing and good characters, and everybody else is... I mean, that is a solid type of appeal. You can't knock appeal like that, because it does appeal like that. But, like, come on. You can appreciate Yanagi in more ways than watching her walk. But Deputy Chief... But it looks like you got... Been on Reddit, can verify. Yeah. But Deputy Chief, but it looks like you've got more to say than just that. Of course, I'm the intelligence officer for Section 6, and rather than relying on flights of fancy, I prefer to base my judgments on rational analysis and objective fact. But I'm worried about everyone. I fear that the majestic force that is Section 6 might get caught up in a mistake I make. What the enemy said, the fear turns my stomach. The words alone cannot attack my confidence. One cannot destroy what has never existed. Okay. That's a good line. That is a good line. I'm willing to forgive now. I wish it was made... Oh god, where's my thing? I think we just got a sub. I wish I... God damn, let me pull up my notifications. Let me in. GamerFalcon97, thank you for the follow. Back to your regularly scheduled dissection of horny gacha games. Words alone cannot attack my confidence. One cannot destroy what has never existed. I have very little reason to believe that Yanagi is... I have very little reason to believe that Yanagi isn't talking out of her ass here. I mean, like, the implication here is that she's faking... that she's just faking the confidence in the situation, but it's being given like she's saying that she always fakes her confidence, which I don't think is very good for her character, or we'll see. All I know is that the objective intelligence has not changed, or rather the latest intelligence only bolsters my previous hypothesis further. That is exactly right, but I still think the information that the villain gave should have been given earlier, and I feel because of what they're trying to set up Section 6 as, being a force to contend with in the next chapter, I agree with the doubt and stuff like that in general for characterization. I think giving a stoic person more layers like that makes them more interesting, but this is information that we should be receiving after we win them back over to our side, and we need to humanize them again, and right now they really should be setting themselves up as the most dangerous thing that Phaethon has ever come across, and I don't know. And so I ask you all to please keep trusting me. However, I have a small suggestion regarding our situation. What is it? Miyabi Sokaku, try as hard as you can to not get involved in combat and leave all the fighting up to me. Harumasa can't fight right now either, which means Yanagi will be alone. Isn't that dangerous? I've enabled safe mode, and the enemy cannot hack into my system to collect or meddle with any of the data. It's safer for me to fight. That is true. So in this situation, it makes sense to me. They're in a situation where they have to make risks, or they have to take risks in order to come out on top, but they have to take risks in order to come out on top, and those risks are for the sake of the rest of Section 6. It's an argument of, if we take a big risk right now, there's a good chance that we just fall right into his trap and bite it. But if we don't do anything, we're definitely going to bite it. And sitting around is logically the outcome that is going to give them the worst result. And they can't have that. They are logically minded. That means they have to take a horrible risk here. And at the end of the day, that risk means that she's putting the rest of her team's lives on the line, which isn't something anyone can do super easily. So it's fine. Again, I've voiced my concerns about the way that this chapter is organized, but the meat is all in the right places. I may not like it, but I understand. Thank you. So then let's become light and hunt down the second runaway. I see. I'm glad you do, because I felt like I kind of winged that one. But I do my best.
Hey, you sneaky little creep! Don't run, Nena! Where are the others?
That might not be the exact analogy that I'd use, but that's a pretty good one.
Go around, Nena?
I guess what you could do is what you could say is waiting is semi-automatic, and yeah, waiting is semi-automatic, and taking a risk is revolver.
Blocked again!
Bastard.
It's a dead end.
Stay calm. Look around.
Okay.
The wall on the left doesn't seem very sturdy. Looks like we can break through it.
I just have to chase this guy. Yeah.
Awesome! And now I get the feeling it's trying to lure us in.
At this point, the only option is to catch up and take it down as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll let it slide because this isn't exactly an exploring game. We're not really playing ZZZ to look around and find a path through a maze. We're playing for the combat and for, hopefully, the story. Come on.
Resistance is futile. Surrender. Mind and body.
So I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but I really didn't like TV mode. I thought it was really... I thought there were some set pieces. I thought there were some instances in set pieces where you did cool things moving the blocks around. But a lot of the time it was... Here, hold on. I feel like TV mode was... It had its highs and it has its lows. There were some really good sequences that I thought were pretty cool and pretty interesting to interact with. And there were others that just felt like they dragged on for a really long time and got in the way of the story. My only real complaint about them was that they were really long and they cut into the action a lot. Like I'd much rather say I'm much rather storytelling like, let's see, like the way the Bellabog Industries chapter did. Yeah, and I'm about 50-50 on it as well. I said my piece.
Deputy Chief, there's another wall here that can be broken.
Great.
Considering you pointed me directly at it and put a waypoint over it, I sure hope it was breakable. That'd be kind of messed up if it wasn't.
Get out of the way,
corner.
Come on. Don't block the path.
Let's make this quick.
Alright, they explode, duh.
Waste of time.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was definitely interesting. I know there was a I couldn't put a finger on it, but there were a couple of instances in a couple of the chapters where they did really cool stuff with the blocks, and like,
don't worry, Section 6 knows exactly how to.
I don't know. It scratched to my brain like old like mobile game sliding block puzzles, and I'm a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan of how long it took to actually get through any particular stage. Just two of you. Just two of you.
Good. Resistance futile. Waste of time.
Yeah, the train. Yeah, the train where you had to like taking care of the tracks in. Like obviously it was scripted, but it felt really cool. Yeah. And like I'm indifferent to the proxies kind of just being along for the ride and being the bang boo. But it did add to the flavor, it added to the uniqueness and the identity, but it was kind of a hassle to get around. He does have a bullseye on his ass, you're right. Certified freak 7 days a week.
Sukaku, Miyabi! Oh no, there's nowhere to go!
Nagi said we can't let the chief's data get stolen so quickly. Leave this to me.
Your thing's a different color than it was when I checked it.
Sukaku is giving it her all, but even so, it won't be enough to hold out for long, Anna. Hey, Tsukishiro? Oh no, Anna. No, Anna.
That's a good look in her eye. This is a bit of a less good look. Damn, she got a collab on that?
Yanagi!
Surely there was a better way to put her in a situation like this. Surely there was a more natural way to put Yanagi in a perilous situation like this.
Forget about me! Get out of there!
Did you have to jump to throw the spear that far? Long live the king, I guess.
I told you your resistance is useless here.
Really? Useless?
Oh, and now she has the dramatic comeback, of course.
Hurting people like this. The special monster we're looking for must be you.
Okay, yeah. That is a fair assessment. Ah, I see. Okay. I will mark that down as a point in Yanagi's favor. It is very convoluted that they would get into the situation at all. But they're in the situation, and that's what she's that is a character decision. Surely I'm... Hey, I mean, the VOD's going up on the channel. It'll be here. Take your time. We're happy you dropped in at all. You don't have to stick around for everything. All the nitty-gritty will be there for your view and pleasure whenever you feel like it. And yeah, I'm not losing, we're losing is definitely something. It gives an air of we will do anything that it takes to win. And it's a little bit impulsive. Like, this is something that I'd probably... This kind of... Oh god, let me take a brief second. This is the sort of thing that connects her back to the other three. It's impulsive, brash, stupid, but I mean, it's gonna work. It's gonna get the job done. What was I doing again? Yeah, long live the king. Don't... Hold on.
Damn it!
Okay, hold on. So she grabs him, pulls him down, flips him over, puts him below, and him hitting before she does is going to mean that she's safe.
Tsukishiro Yanagi!
We...
Stage complete.
God damn it. Wait, we're still missing one. Okay. Ah, man. That is incredibly convoluted. That is an incredibly convoluted resolution. There is... I don't see any reason, apart from drama, that Yanagi would have put herself in that situation at all. I don't see any reason except for drama that the villain would have... That's... Yeah. I mean, well, because he doesn't have absolute control. But imagine if he did, and he dropped them into this is the simulated universe of where everything is a death plane, and they get out of it. I'm not messing with those guys. You want me to go like next chapter? We're back in Faith and Shoes. Those are the guys that we're fighting. I'm not fighting them. They're gonna kick our asses. We're doomed. Like that's the kind of impression you want to leave us with, but I don't feel like these four are threatening. I don't feel like these four are like they have trust. They trust each other. That is the big thing here. And like, you gotta beat us over the head with this. This is your opportunity before you put them on the other side of the conflict to prime us to feel like there is not going to be a tomorrow. Okay, Section 6 is on our ass. This is an apocalyptic event for our own little world. But no, she finds herself in a bit of peril, and the bad guy walks up because he wants to be Scar, and Yanagi's being Mufasa, but instead of being Mufasa, she grabs the bad guy, who still hasn't been named yet, and pulls him off and spins him around and makes him touch the death floor. And because he touched the death floor before she did, and they off-screened the second boss, he was the last boss they needed to beat, and now the stage is complete and everyone's safe. I don't like this chapter. I don't like this chapter at all.
I knew trusting you was the right thing to do, Nagi. The second monster is done! Woohoo! We're almost there!
Yeah, like we get to watch Miyabi be cool, but it's in passing. It's in between. It's in a segue between chapters where we're about to go into another segue between chapters. It's right before Undercover R&B, so we get to see a lot of cool stuff from Miyabi. But the others, we don't. We should fear all four of these for different reasons, but we don't, because that was a nothing conflict. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not trying to use buzzwords or beat down on people or be like, oh, I could have written this better. But, like, it's all there. You have everything that you need. Just organize it a bit and go a little bit more ham. Go a little bit harder. Like, really put these four into a corner. Make us, like I'm not sure they're going to make it out of this. And then you make everything effortless. And then when we get to the next part, and there's the heel turn after they, do whatever they need to do, because I know there are, big air quotes here, enemies, but they turn out to be our friends in the end. When they do that heel turn, then you start doing the trust issues. Then you start doing Yanagi having confidence issues and doing what's best in the moment by impulse. And, oh my god. I knew trusting you was the right thing to do, Nagi. The second monster is done. We're almost there. That was We're not done. That was really dramatic for what wasn't the last monster.
I don't like just sitting here watching while my teammates fight without...
Deputy Chief, now's a good time to act badass, right? Maybe drop a cool line like, I'm just an office worker. Something to rub it in, Nena?
Technically, I am an office worker, and you've done a great job as a bangbu, Harumasa.
Yeah, because, again, they are supposed to be a threat. This is public security versus a proxy. I'm assuming this is the proxy that they talked about in the start of it. We'll get the confirmation later. But this is an example of the evil that a bad proxy can do, and how much firepower Section 6 has to bring those people down. So when we, the good proxy, are put into a situation where we have to contend with them too, we need to be fearing for our fucking lives. there is going to be time later on to endear us to the four of them. But right now you need to treat them like a bowling ball because they are not our friends yet. They are not our friends yet. They are not our allies yet. They are an obstacle. They are there to show. Oh my god. Okay, I'm spinning wheel at this. I'm spinning the wheel at this point. Regardless, okay, yeah, I might have just said proxies instead of hackers. That's my bad. But regardless, it's person in the same boat as Phaethon, and well, person kind of in the same boat as Phaethon.
Huh?
You! Curse you! A mere intelligence officer messing up my plans!
And you gotta have given us the beef between these two way earlier on. Give us like a flashback or something. Like, I need to...
You again? Seeing us destroy 2 of the test monsters meant you finally had to act? With one more to go, your plan is about to fail.
That's the second time. That's the second time in a row that I haven't been crazy. I promise you. I promise you sometime soon there'll be a third.
Arrogant as always, intelligence officer. Are you sure your teammates can hold out that long?
And I'm 2 for 2. It's a good day. That doesn't usually happen. Arrogant as always, intelligence officer. Are you sure your teammates can really hold out that long? Gaslighting again. His hold's getting weaker. They're beating more of the bosses. And we have no reason to believe that this is not going to stick.
I have faith in them. You know nothing of their strength.
Haha. I have faith in them. Haha.
You don't need your teammates to teach you how to act cool. You're pretty good at throwing out those cheesy comic book cool lines yourself.
I will make a little side note. She is not good at throwing out those lines.
I'm just stating the facts. You've tried manipulating the data, the terrain, the system, and you still can't beat us. I think knowing when to give up is a form of wisdom.
Okay, but like, this line, this like stare down right here, but he's been throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them for the past 30 minutes. Completely different interaction. Like, this interaction after the hypothetical Death Plane City, cold, ice cold, frigid, like, that alone would make me concerned to be around Yanagi at all if I were anybody even remotely close to her shit list.
Yeah, I agree with you on this
But
one.
like,
sometimes it is wise to give up.
but like, Nullface hasn't done anything that really makes us drop our jaws.
Oh? It's been a while since I met such a reasonable villain. I might try and get you some special treatment as a prisoner. Maybe a pork cutlet that Tsukaku hasn't already nibbled at?
I mean, giving up on you. If it weren't for your interference, I'd have already dealt with those 3. So I've decided to stop wasting time on you and focus on what's important.
Okay.
Hold on. What are you planning?
Seems pretty self-explanatory to me, but go on.
Get out of my world! Stay out of my way!
Okay. Kick Yanagi out. Yanagi has to go find somebody to help them. That's where Phaethon comes in with this conflict.
Wait! Wait!
Miss Tsukishiro.
Ah,
Mitsukishiro! You're awake! Thank goodness you're back. You're back in the real world.
You know, I said it before. I'll say it again. I could have sworn he was going to be Nullface. It is what it is. No harm, no foul. Deputy Chief Tsukishiro, thank the gods, at least you managed to wake up. I see, the others haven't made it back yet. What I'm going to tell you is now is very important. Please listen to me very carefully. Yeah. I mean, if they're, yeah. But I mean, like, wouldn't you? My teammates' consciousnesses are trapped inside the virtual environment, and they are under threat right now. Please call Hand immediately and request a cybersecurity specialist plus a medical team. Before they get here, please block off the entrances and exits of the HIA club and stop anyone from coming in or going out. Got it? Don't worry, leave it all to me. Facts, yeah. Dear citizens, friends of HIA, loyal users of the VR system, and premium users. Ah yes, premium users, thank you all for your support and enthusiasm. Our apologies, but we may need to extend our VR system maintenance today. The Career Club will reopen once maintenance is complete. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Despite the disappointing announcement, the crowd gathered at the entrance doesn't have much of a reaction. It's great that everyone's staying so calm, by the way. The executive officers of Hollow Squad Operation Section 6 will be resting in HIA during the maintenance period, so... No, your celebrities aren't on their way. Came all this way just to see executive officers from Section 6. Honestly, like, they said it so many times. They put a villain in a position where he is basically God, and our protagonists have everything stacked against them. Make us feel that way, and then make them win. Even if alternate universe Hoyoverse Cyrus did wind up being Nullface, which I assume by your answer that he is not, which makes sense. I wish, like, it's so easy to say that the incompetence is a front. Like, he's doing that to disarm everybody and to get closer to the case and to Yanagi so he can do something horrible and so on and so forth. Like, that's not, that isn't, like, villains have switches that they flip all the time. Right? Like, I said it before, he should be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at them, and it shouldn't be working. That is how you make us... That is how you make us fear Section 6. You need to make the villain super imposing, and put them in a situation where chances of victory are like next to zero, and then you use everything that is being set up as a pedestal to make all of those, to make those four even cooler. That's how you do it. You should have mentioned something this important earlier. What do you mean, by the way? It's your system maintenance that's the real side note here. Hearing that the members of Section 6 wouldn't be appearing, the crowd of citizens reacted with surprising intensity. Yeah, there is a... Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm gonna have to lean into celebrity stuff. Because... oh, God. Oh, no. The worst possible scenario just crossed my mind. Nullface isn't a fanboy, is he? Oh, God. Nobody say anything. No answers, no nothing. Okay. No answers, no nothing. But, like, if we're dealing with, like, fandom culture, that'd be so good. That'd be so good, though, because we already have the celebrity angle. We already have the toxic fans. We already have an idea of some vague revenge that he's seeking on Yanagi. It could just... What if it was just, like... What if he goes through all the stuff, he throws the entire digital world at them, and causes carnage, and it's just because he's upset because he didn't get an autograph or something? Like, that's something. And funnily enough, that actually enhances his character, because he does all of that for such a stupid reason. What if somebody of his caliber has an actually good reason to do that sort of stuff? Oh no. We need to make sure every single proxy in the world is locked up tight. Like, you can make incompetence a bad sign for the future. And hey, we're back with Faithin. Cool. Yanagi's going to be here in a second to recruit them or something. What on earth is going on? Something happen? Ah, it's okay. Don't worry too much, Belle. Yeah. Well, that just means I'm doing something right, right? That's okay, don't worry too much, Belle. I just feel like something's gone haywire over there. About the HIA Club? Yes, Section 6 has basically vanished after going into the HIA Club. Even their scheduled press conference has been canceled. That's a huge ruckus on the internet with people speculating about what's happened to Section 6. Let's pay close attention. So you're concerned too? Belle? Well then, Fairy, please filter the internet using these keywords and keep me up to date with all the latest. Now you say that, but every other time ZZZ has managed a good balance. Like, this isn't beyond them. This is probably... This is the only intro... And, like, even going with that angle of they're not putting a lot of effort into it, they're just trying to sell the characters. Exactly, I'm in that same boat. But if this is a gacha game, they are trying to sell the characters, but wouldn't it be a better marketing strategy to sell characters who prove themselves as being really, really, really die-hard cool and overpowered and awesome and also looking good in office wear? Hype them up so we want to roll for them. You can throw everything out the window. This chapter could have just been an entire pile of slop, as long as it makes Shokaku and Yanagi look as cool as possible. That is a valid way to pitch gacha characters and to spread the word of them across the internet. You make them do really cool things, and you're good. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. But at a certain point, a lack of good writing does take a hammer to the image that we have of these characters. Like, I'm not interested in Yanagi anymore. They had me in the beginning. They had me in the first half. But, like, I'm not pulling for Yanagi anymore if she comes back around. I got better things to do. You really are a hidden talent, though. Focusing on that particular member of Section 6. Of course I understand. Okie doke. And now we go... we gotta go back into immersive storytelling. We're another break. Ah, man. Okay. This is a good time for me to take another brief break. You all get some water. It occurs to me, I told everyone to go get water and then proceeded to not get water. There we go. Alright. Y'all check this out real quick. There's some new info about Section 6. Are you free to chat right now? In the context of, you know, breaking the fourth wall and all of that, imagine this being the point where you just decide to take your time, do side objectives, grind up a couple of units. They really got to figure out where they put these breaks. Let's compile all the info we have from the internet selected by Fairy along with those stray morsels from the news. Firstly, Section 6 hasn't come out of the club, plus online reports have placed several experts in cybersecurity from both the HIA and NEPS arriving at Lumina Square. Okay. Physics, something's going down, something's gone wrong, yeah. That's what everyone's guessing, but nobody knows what actually happened. Should we go check it out? Yeah, should we go join the party? I knew you'd be keen to join in all the fun, Belle. Let's go, the car's ready. You're running the battery? You just have the car started in the lot already, and we're not even out there? That's wasteful. Login failed, mission authenticating information, login failed. Damn it, I haven't been able to log back in ever since the system kicked me out. I tried everything, but even the login link disappeared in the end. It's so long already, Sokaku, Miyabi, and Haramasa, I mean, Asaba, they're all suffering inside. Okay. So Harumasa is the only one that doesn't like being called by... Okay. Deputy Chief Tsukishiro. Uh-oh, I'm sorry about that. I was daydreaming. Has our backup arrived yet? The professionals from the hand have arrived. They're working on relinking the connection you have to re-enter the virtual world. When I tried logging and used the original link, the system prompt said missing authentication information. But ever since I've been here, I've stuck with my team, whether in the virtual world or the real one. I can't figure out how there can be an authentication information that Miyabi, Harumasa, and Sokaku all have, but that I don't. Even if they can create a new connection, I'm worried that I won't be able to log in at all if we can't solve this first. Do our experts have any insight about that? We're working hard. That's good. That is good code for no, we don't have anything for you yet. I see. Thank you for your hard work. Business professionalism. We will never give up. Tier 4 sub over here, crying when Miyabi's the one who should be breaking down into tears. You only came by to help us out, yet we put you all in danger. Seriously, can you please stop crying? I'm really not good at handling my workmates' tears. Sorry, I'm just so sad. Deputy Chief Tsukishiro, did you hear? I just went out to console all the Section 6 fans outside, and they were all clutching onto all the gifts that they wanted to give their idols. That's a choice of words. Is it celebrity culture or idol culture? Ooh. I think it's idol culture. Ooh, yeah. It's idol culture. That's the through line. Yeah. We kept everything secret, though. We didn't let anything out of the bag. They've got no idea that their heroes are here now on the brink of death because of our negligence. That's something I really... Oh, your whole expression just shifted. Then, Deputy Chief Tsukishiro, are you going to take your anger out on me? It's okay. You can hit me. I deserve it. Tier 4 sub. Please rest assured I shall not be hitting you. What you just said has reminded me of something. Please hold on a minute. I want to make a quick physical diagnostic of my teammate. Yeah, sure. Go for it. They're all under expert medical supervision right now. If you can provide some details about their health, it should be useful in stabilizing the situation. I understand. Thank you. Okay. So it is... Okay, I've got good notes to throw at a wall. You're the only other person I can talk to right now. Do you have anything to say to me? HIA is definitely partially responsible for the incident. We'll do our best to solve the problem. I'm assuming you are going to say the same thing. Is there anything we can do to help? Please tell us. Nope. Okay. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Hello? Fair enough. Thank you for your hard work. I'm currently in charge of taking care of your 3 teammates, and I've got a few questions I'd like to ask you. Thank you in advance. As long as it helps with the care, I'll gladly tell you whatever I know. We retrieved the basic health records of the 3 from the database, but something went wrong during... Well, yeah, but that's too on the nose. You can't have the idol group representing the idol culture is... It's something. But I feel like it's a bit too easy. You wouldn't use... Bellabog isn't there to detail different kinds of factory workers. They're there to talk about the nuclear family and, like, really establish that there are family dynamics that you need to be looking for in ZZZ. I could also, notably, be completely wrong. This is all subjective analysis, which is why it's so fun. I'd like to ask for your help in identifying which of these 3 records belong to each executive officer based on my descriptions. A matching game! I'll do my best. That's all I can promise. First record, let me see. Wow, impressive. Looks a lot like a petite Oni girl. Okay, so this is... Okay. Who do you think it could be? Who's... Yeah, please. My team can't bear the consequences of a mistake. Fine, I think the person it describes is... I think I'm good at this. Now, the second record, it belongs to a male officer. His bust, waist, and hip measurements are... It's... Yeah. It's belonging to a dignified, powerful female fox siren who wields a sword and has earned the title... Okay, yeah. I mean... Ha. That's not a terrible gag. Thank you for your cooperation. All the data has been fully confirmed. Rest assured, we will do everything in our power to care for the 3 of them. Section 6 is the protector of the city, a symbol of security for everyone. They are a symbol. They need to be maintained. Without them, the public gets into a riot. So, Deputy Chief Tsukishiro, no matter what, please bring the 3 of them back. Please. And they're also, notably, keeping HIA's reputation in the balance here. They're the only one who can. Can I really do it? I woke up. Looks up to them quietly watching. Like the caretaker mentioned, the new Eridu Guardian badge gleamed brightly on the chests of the 3. Their breathing was steady and their hands were warm. Anyone looking at them would never think they were on the brink of death. I can't imagine the city without you, so I have to bring you back. Just then, a message arrives. The cyber warfare experts have successfully restored the connection gateway.
Miss Tsukishiro, the login link has been reestablished, but part of the system is still under the enemy's control. The message authentication information missing keeps popping up, so we can't log in.
I mean, you weren't going to get the whole system back under control. This is, like, part of the system still being under their control. That's fine. That's all you're going to get. They were in there when they had part of it.
I have an idea that might be worth a try.
Is it ask, is it get carrot information and use it to help you?
What's that in your hand? Oh, a new Eridu Guardian badge?
That's not important. Please take this badge to the specialist team for analysis.
Okay. Staff takes away the badge for analysis before bringing it back soon after.
This is incredible. Wait, do you intend to log into the system wearing this?
It's the missing authentication information, isn't it?
Yes, but it's too risky. Once you log in, you won't be able to activate safe mode. Even the pain feedback protection will be disabled, and it could...
All these negatives are just set up to make her saying, yeah, but I'm going to go in anyways, sound a little bit cooler. It's effective.
There's something I'd like to confirm.
What is it?
Are the core system rules still in effect? I'm talking about the content in this user guide. This system creates an immersive virtual realm synced with the user's senses. Once all test monsters are defeated, the session will automatically come to an end. According to the specialists, these rules are intact, correct?
Of course! These are the core rules governing the VR system. Our battle with the enemy has always been about gaining control of the system, and they have neither the ability nor the opportunity to alter them.
They have neither the ability nor the opportunity to alter them. That is confidence that should get a pretty decent change of expression from Yanagi here.
Great. Then I'm going into the system. My teammates are still out.
Yep.
That was so moving. I'm going to create a dedicated fan club just for you, and one day I'll make sure everyone in New Eridu is a die-hard fan of Miss Tsukishiro.
Is there tier? I mean, like, I think he graduates from tier 4 at this point. Like, I'd never, like, I understand, I get it. I'd never have some self-respect, man.
You're thinking out loud again.
No, that's just what I'm saying out loud. My inner thoughts are way more embarrassing. If I were to say them out loud, you'd never look at me the same again, so I'll stop.
His voice actor is having a lot of fun.
But since you've made up your mind, I'll give it my all to support you. I swear, as the founder of the Tsukishiro Yanagi fan club.
I guarantee she's already got a fan club. Tier 7 plus moderator on every platform, yeah.
I pray to the founders of Eridu, to Lady Sunbringer, and the leftover noodles from lunch. I pray for the safety of you and everyone in Section 6!
And he boasts. He sure does boast. Look, ZZZ is a little bit hit and miss with their comedy. I think they hit more often than not. I'm not sure what this is. I feel like it passes the event horizon of cringe and is like, okay, yeah, they're clearly having a blast writing the nonsense that comes out of this dude's mouth. I can accept this.
Thank you.
I'll make sure they all get back safely.
I'll make sure they all get back safely.
And I will restate, I refuse to believe that this woman doesn't already have multiple fan clubs throughout the city. And that is the most important thing to hit. Looks at the HIA club. Looks at the HIA club, but nobody's here. I guess right. This was a valid login method. There are voices outside. I'd better head out and take a look. Outside. And it do be raining. You get the little immersive storytelling.
This is like something out of a nightmare.
So this is what nightmares are like.
Wait, Chief, you've never had one?
Right? Like that should have been my first clue. The T-shirt with Miyabi's face on it, the fan with Miyabi's face on it. I think the person had fake fox ears on too. Like that is just idol culture.
No, never.
Also,
Miyabi's
really
combat
cute exchange
data
there.
Collection progress is at 97%.
Miyabi's combat data collection progress is at 97%.
Miyabi, there's no time! Please listen to me!
There's no need. Have you already uncovered the enemy's secret?
Yanagi's gonna say yes. Miyabi's gonna say something cool. Wipe everything else out to give her the clear, turn into a Bangbu, and leave it to Yanagi.
Yes, Chief. Miyabi's combat data collection progress is at... You've got a plan to take them down, right?
I do, Chief.
Miyabi's combat data collection... Then I'll leave it to you. Miyabi's combat data collection progress has reached 100%.
So just because you can see it coming doesn't make it not good.
Data collection complete. Model construction in progress.
To protect the city, I, Tsukishiro Yanagi, become light.
We'll call it even then. And I need to write down what is the significance of what is becoming light. I mean, like, obviously there are the connotations of light to hope and all of it being like, it punches through the darkness and all that sappy stuff. There's got to be something else to it. I'll figure that out on my own time. Please tell me I'm carrying around the Bangbu for the rest of the mission. Nope. Gotta keep the models intact.
Sorry, everyone. I got here too late. Leave the rest to me. Shall I collate our current intel for you?
So let me just, I'm just like, I'd have more compelling thoughts if you give me a couple minutes, but I love this. Yeah, that could be it. We could spin it that way, but like, city central, the rain.
Knows exactly how to handle this.
Okay, yeah, this is.
It doesn't matter how many city monsters show up.
Impressive, Deputy Chief. You're not gonna turn into a Bangaroo too, then.
Good. Resistance is futile. Weak spot located. Good.
If only I had a bamboo-sized sword. I'd like to join the fight too, and
don't worry, Chief. Leave it to me.
I'm gonna start pushing you all this way.
Surrender.
Chief, she's coming!
Resistance is futile.
Nagli! Henna! The thing is going to make her move!
Waste of time.
Yanagi, the fake is about to strike now.
Enemies of Section 6 shall pay. We press on. Careful, the enemy's recovered.
You keep Edna, she's coming!
Nagli! Henna! The fake is going to make her move!
Waste of time.
Damn, I'm a fucking fraud. I mean, I got revives. I'm not happy to use them, but...
Yanagi, the fake is about to strike now.
I never said anything about the game being easy.
can you hold up against Miami for so long?
Because you're not her.
This world is mine! Here, I can fail countless times, but you can afford a single mistake!
My right hand.
Miyabi?
My right hand. I sprained it earlier, stopping the blade.
It was back then.
It'll lead to subtle changes in my movements. You've always looked after me, after all of us. You're the only one in this world who can capture it.
I mean, I'm not here to be good at the game. I'm here to talk about the writing and stuff.
Thank you, Chief.
Impossible!
Checkmate.
How'd you manage to dodge? Damn it! And you're going down with me!
You can go alone.
We're back! Nagi, you did it!
I can finally clock out.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Everyone's been light for so long. It's time to go back to being human.
I'm gonna write that one down too. Time to go back to being human. So, that sequence is... That sequence was good. It's a pretty good one. The Miyabi... No. There could be some sort of reading on Yanagi's time dilation being sort of a representation of her perfectionism. Like, she's got all the time in the world. She can go back and fix things. She's like something like that. I'm not worried about that right now. But we had a big concern about setting up Section 6 as a threat. And that right there had the makings of a good moment to really solidify that by using Miyabi and her strength as a prop for Miyabi and Yanagi. You spend most of the chapter building Miyabi up more intensely by actually giving her some victories, showing off that power that they show off in the last second. And the big hurdle is now all of that power that Miyabi has and has been torturing the big bad with this entire time is now against us. But Yanagi can overcome it. Yanagi can overcome it with her own strength and beat that. And then Miyabi comes back and is just stronger than her 100% clone, who just, cleaved a big horizontal line in space a couple of seconds ago. She just one-taps it. And we're like, okay, yeah, no, this is a real threat. We don't need to see anything else. We got it. Damn it. It's all because of those blasted intelligence officers. Even if I can't destroy your consciousnesses, I'll make you pay. Hoshimi Miyabi, deep sensory sync and biological data all uploaded. They will finish where I started. Nullface will not end here. So they don't catch him. They don't catch him. He's coming back in a later arc, and he's gonna have a bunch of Miyabi robots. I mean, that's something.
Nagi, are you awake? Can you see me?
Your hands are sweaty, Sukaku.
Ew, sweaty hands.
You're finally awake! it might cause your body to go haywire.
I see. I'll steer clear of that power in the virtual world from now on. Noted.
I told you the deputy chief would be all right. How do you feel? Sore all over? Maybe now you can relate to how I feel when I want to take a day off.
I'm glad you're safe and sound too, Asaba. However, I think you're cuter in your Bangbu form.
Damn.
Deputy Chief! First you slap me physically and now you hit me with words? That's just cruel.
Thanks to you, we're back in the real world, Yanagi. Your strategy worked, as always. Once you're back on your feet, will you help me draft my will?
That's a bit of a heavy something to lay on somebody's lap, huh?
Now's really not the time for this, Chief. And what's with the will all of a sudden?
In large families like the Hoshimi family, such things must be sorted early.
Oh, though I'm totally overjoyed to witness this reunion, I'm afraid I have to interrupt. Just to be on the safe side, we need to give everyone a quick medical checkup.
Yeah, I guess it would be a little bit too weird. Like, even for a character that they're trying to crank up to 11, if he was excited about the medical checkup, that would be a bit too much. I agree. Also, I think I clocked it a little bit late. I think they're all wearing different ties. Like, obviously, there are 4 people, 4 different ties. They can't wear... You know what I meant. 2 days later, in the Section 6 office of the hand building.
So,
they are wearing
the
different
virus was
types of
implanted in
ties.
us by the enemy through that badge?
There's implanted in us through that badge.
Virus isn't exactly accurate. It's a set of identification codes that aren't inherently dangerous and don't actively emit signals. Their sole purpose is to be detected during a full body scan when the wearer logs into the VR training machine. But when read, it becomes a virus. It opens up a back door, allowing the attacker to hack into the system. Or at least, that's what the tech staff reported.
But, Deputy Chief, how did you know the badge contained this virus?
Yeah.
Looking back, the only distinction between my actions and everyone else was I didn't interact with any fans before the mission started.
I think I could probably also take note that they are all protecting different parts of their body. I think Harumasa and Yanagi are both protecting their... They're both protecting their dominant arms. Miyabi is protecting her core. And I'm sure Shokaku is either not protecting anything or is protecting... I don't know. It could be the mask that she's protecting her face, but there's something there. Looking back, the only distinction between our actions and everyone else is that I didn't interact with any fans before the mission started.
To ensure all the citizens who trust Hand feel at ease, the higher-ups have consistently encouraged officers to treat the fans as kindly as possible. It's only natural everyone wears the gifts sent by the fans.
So that pretty badge was actually something harmful. Oh no, I can't remember who gave it to me. If I could, we could trace it back to them, right?
Could you?
Don't worry. I've already asked reliable colleagues to follow up.
I assume we are the reliable colleagues in the situation.
Could it be an insider within the HIA?
Nope.
I did have my doubts. But then I thought if an insider wanted to tamper with it, there are plenty of ways more subtle than implanting an identifier code. The most suspicious person, naturally, is the one who has the strongest reason to target Section 6 right now.
Oh, Section 5?
Now isn't the time for internal jokes. Chief, you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
I sure hope so that you can spell it out to us instead of teasing.
Nullface. We're just one step away from taking down their leader. If they were going to make a desperate move, now would be the time.
Okay, but like, there's no reason to beat around the bush and like they said that they were Nullface. They said it to their faces. Like we know who is responsible here. There's no reason to be mysterious about it.
Nullface once hacked into the HIA system and potentially gained access to internal intelligence. Furthermore, conducting electronic warfare through hacker groups has always been Nullface's specialty.
I really wish we got all of this groundwork before we started getting into a battle for life and death, because then we could focus on the battle for life and death and crank that shit up to 12.
Hacker groups. So in other words, the remnants of Nullface, who normally operate independently, are now joining forces?
And that's a big deal. You could make you could have made a point about that halfway through, or when things are really hitting the fan, like, okay, yeah, this is ridiculous. One hacker could not do this. It's as simple as that. You peel it back a little bit, the ceiling gets way higher because suddenly you have a dozen, 2 dozen, 100 hackers working to bring Section 6 down instead of just the one. And when they win, it's even more impressive, and they're even cooler and even stronger, and we want to pull for them even more, and when we see them staring us down in the next chapter, we're even more afraid. I don't like this chapter, guys.
This is their last stand. To efficiently organize their attack against us, they likely aren't too spread out, making it the perfect opportunity to capture them all in one sweep.
And that would be fine. Like, that is a detail of desperation. It's all, like, we have been such a... Oh. Okay. I think I disconnected for a second. It is... A display of desperation means that their victory is even more impressive. Yes, it would like taking these 4 in Section 6 down was worth getting however many hackers to put themselves at even greater risk, all come together to work for this one target that they all needed to get off the board instead of doing anything else with their lives. And then they fail, and they lose, and these 4 are the coolest in the world, and nobody can ever beat them. And then we go into Chapter 5.
Huh, they can't beat us in the real Hollows, so they cheat in the game world? These guys are the worst. So, when are we gonna go after them?
They could have cheated a whole lot more, and I think they should have.
Rather conveniently, the intelligence from our partner department has just arrived.
That night, Hand resumed their previously canceled press conference. The entire Hollows... Okay, that was the... yeah. The entire Hollow Special Operations Section 6 squad attended, announcing the criminal syndicate Nullface had been apprehended. Nullface had been apprehended. Just like that, that's it? Ghost door. Belle, did you catch the news bulletin? What's wrong? Section 6 called a press conference claiming that they've taken down Nullface in one fell swoop. Oh, come on! Please let this just be like... oh my... okay. That sure was fast. Yes, the previous rumor had it that Section 6 got in trouble with the HIA Club while Hand did nothing about it, which sent the rumor mill into overdrive. Now, stuff keeps flickering. Okay. Now, online speculation claims Section 6 was infiltrating the Nullface base the whole time to launch a sneak attack, and Hand's lack of response was due to a fear of leaks. Seems reasonable. Everyone's just making blind guesses. I mean, it's not like anybody actually witnessed it in person. They say the sleeping mind dreams about the worries of the day. Maybe I'll have one of those dreams tonight. I'm thinking Belle Wise and Section 6's Big Bad Hollow adventure. Sounds like a fun dream. Do we play the bad guys in this dream? If Belle's a bad guy, then I'd like to be a bad guy too. After all, it's both of us that make up Phaethon. It's rare for you to get along with me like this, so how about it? Do you want to experience that dream right now? You want to go to HIA. You got it. You got it. The announcement says that HIA's latest VR system updated today, and the sensory simulation experience is advanced again. Aren't you curious? Welcome, citizens, to experience the latest VR system. Ah, you're Tsukishiro Yanagi. You're the leader of the independent investigation team. I didn't expect to meet you here. I was just 1, 2, 3, Miss Tsukishiro. A paragon of wisdom and bravery. For you, we'll go crazy. Who are these people? We're Miss Tsukishiro Yanagi's fan club. I'm the chief administrator. Would you be interested in joining us and becoming one of Tsukishiro's loyal supporters? Can I say yes? Everyone, what happened to our #1 rule? Right, never cause trouble for our guests. I'd like to join, though. What are you doing? What you're doing right now is going to cause trouble, you know. Right, we will obey your instructions. We'll disappear right away. Wow. Hear me out, I think it's possible that the villains suffered from budget limitations. The TV mode, while divisive, was cheap. It meant more effort and resources could go into other moments, making things more fucky-wucky in the virtual world probably would have been on the table in the TV mode. But having to model the entirety of every environment could have had consequences. You're right, and we were just talking about the TV mode and how we could make use of it in unique situations, and I think you've got a point. I do think it's a shame, but you do have to consider technical limitations when you're creating something like this. I would know that very well. Not everything can be as good as it can possibly be, for whatever reason that might happen to be, and we gotta take things like that. We gotta take things like that as they come. I still think it's a shame, though, and I think it's to the detriment of Yanagi and Section 6 and all of that. But it is what it is. That is what happened, and we have to evaluate everything that comes from it as such. Absolutely, yep. It's not the story we could have gotten, it's the story we have. And that is completely valid. I'm the invited spokesperson responsible for the safety demonstration of this new VR system. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Time slips by without notice, and you end up spending the entire day at the HIA club. By the time you return home, it's already late into the night. You fall asleep without even realizing it, probably because you're exhausted. Okay. I'm clicking. There we go. About Nicole. This is going to lead us into Chapter 5, okay. Belle and Nicole call just as Perlman's awake. Where is he now? Probably still in the Outer Ring. Cunning Hairs are watching him over in the Outer Ring, and they seem to have obtained some important intel. What did Perlman say? Nicole said it's not convenient to discuss the details over the phone. So she'll drive over soon to pick us up, and we'll head over to the Outer Ring to sort things out. And she told us to turn on the TV to watch the news. Are you free right now? If you have time, let's move to the TV and watch the news and contact Nicole. Nope, I'm not free right now. Give her to me. Fuck off. Okay. They could have done so much stuff, like actively playing with the game's interface, even if it's something as simple as, okay, yeah, we're gonna mess with your controls for the sequence, or we're going to make it so that you only have 1 health for this encounter. Like really make us work for it, or say that you're gonna make us work for it and let the characters overpower you at every step so that we can, you know, see how cool they are. I have my opinions about this chapter. I think... Hold on, let me... I think pound for pound, Undercover R&B is just better across the board, in general. It sets out to... Well, they have different goals, is part of the problem. Undercover R&B is really about endearing us... No, I guess they don't, do they? Their goals are pretty similar. Undercover R&B is, on the gacha game scheming level, about endearing us to Jane Doe. And Virtual Revenge is about endearing us to Yanagi. But the former does it way, way better. Because it exclusively puts us in her shoes, in a conflict only she can deal with, in situations that make her personality and skill set shine like a goddamn lighthouse. And also Seth is there to be a himbo and a good foil to her. The conflict is interesting. The themes carry over from the PubSec from the public security section, the chapter there. They carry over, take on a new meaning. Yeah, Jane and Seth, like this is the gold standard. This is what all special episodes should be. If you are going to spend that much time focusing in on a single character, that's what it should look like. I'd even go so far as to say, this is, like, obviously you gotta diet it down a little bit. I think Undercover R&B is just the gold standard for any dedicated character story in a gacha game. Like, it's a self-contained story, it has its own narrative, it has its own conflict, it challenges the characters. A foil makes things better. In Undercover R&B, just going off of what we are given in the chapter, Jane has Seth, Razor, and Zhuyuan as foils to her, and she herself is a foil to Seth, Razor, and all of his lackeys that you interact with throughout the part. She is the one who, pokes and prods the right places to get interaction out of them and to move the story along, because she's a manipulator. She's a rat in the maze during the most of the story, because it is a little bit more low-key, it's a little bit more social, but it's non-stop drip feed of Jane's character, why you should love her, and why everybody else loves her. And she also gets to be cool and stand out and do the hero playing the villainess thing, which that's always a hit. And if it's done right, it's top shelf, prime rib sort of storytelling. But like, Yanagi doesn't have a foil, which is weird, because now that I've finished Virtual Revenge, this is group on group conflict. This isn't a moral story about leadership and the corruption seeping its way into positions of power, like Jane's is. And it's not a personal story where she's being tugged in two directions by different forces and having to play a part she doesn't want to while leading on the part that she wants to pull herself back to. It's not dramatic like that, because there's no contrast. There's nothing to compare it to. In Yanagi's case, she is immediately set up as the maternal figure, as the leader, for lack of a better term, of Section 6. She's the one who organizes everything that everyone has faith in, and is the one who ultimately saves the day in the end. It is a group conflict on a group conflict that winds up being one-on-one. So from there, we really did need more from the villain. We absolutely needed to understand Nullface and the way that they were organized, and how their leadership works, and how their leadership treats the people that work for them, and how those different leadership styles between Yanagi and their leader bleed into the way that they treat them back, and ultimately how it pans out with Yanagi coming out victorious and being the winner. Those are the same thing, you know what I mean? I think right? Like, oh man, I don't use disappointment lightly. I feel like it's a really nasty word, because it's not, but like, I wanted way more than I was given. I'm not disappointed, I'm still hungry. We had something here. There was something here that could have easily been turned into... This could have easily become the best chapter that I have experienced so far, and it's the worst. Like, you don't have to... I agree, but you don't have to make the characters playable for them to have an impact in the story. You can have, like, the little segment at the end with Miyabi one-shotting her clone. Like, that is impactful. That gives us an impression of her, and it moves the story along and deepens the relationship that we perceive between her and Yanagi. But she's not playable. The same kind of goes for Harumasa. I wish we got to see them, or we got them to do anything. And like, it doesn't even have to be any more than them having a little flash effect and like shifting a little bit. Like, just make them do stuff. And you need to give the villains more presence. You need to give the villains more presence, and you need to give the unit of... It's all structure. The whole issue I have with Virtual Revenge is fixed with a little bit of structure and a little bit of... and having a concrete villain to butt heads with everyone else. I'm sure there's a reading I could make for Yanagi where one of the big differences between her and the individual representing Nullface is that, you know, they're a public group, they're versus a group that sticks to the shadows. They have a proper organization. The others are like cockroaches who manage to gather together for... Yeah, and that's the worst kind. Like, they were this close. These two... Oh god, I clicked on it again. How long was this? This is a long-ass chapter. These two could have been the best just episodes, chapters, stories. They could have been the best in this entire game. Yeah, but the difference is that is content that we get from events, from side content, from content that isn't mandatory for the progression of the story. We have to choose to engage with it, so it loses a bit of gravitas because it is not mandatory. I actually talk a little bit more about this in the Ambi video that's going to be going up in a couple of days, probably tomorrow. But by nature of keeping all of the juicy tidbits on the side of the plate, I have to work with what I'm given, with what the game gives me without any sort of reservation. It doesn't say you have an option to consume this. It puts it forward and says you are playing, if you want to play the rest of this game, you are playing Virtual Revenge and you are analyzing it and absorbing the contents, the characters, the conflict, and all of that. And that's what I have to judge. That's what we all have to judge. And I judge that Virtual Revenge is not that good. I think it's a good lesson. I think you can consume Virtual Revenge, and if you consume it from a critical standpoint, you can take good things from this, and you can take the bad things from this and turn them into something good. Would not Cyrus have worked as a good foil if he was the villain, the Tier 7 fan obsessed with his idol-like manager that isn't active in that fan community? Yeah, the Ambi stuff is going to get a follow-up once I actually catch up to present. I understand. That is part of the thesis of the Ambi video is the problem with God damn it. Let me phrase this right. It's the problem with incomplete pictures, where we are asked to like this character, but the game also tells us, yeah, you're supposed to love this character from top to bottom and be completely endeared to them, but we're not going to show you why until you're 8 chapters into the game. Yeah, sorry. But she's cute and likes hamburgers. I'm not going to get off track on that. Would not Cyrus have worked as a good foil if he was the villain? The Tier 7 fan opposed to the idol manager that isn't active in that fan community. So you're on the right track. I can see that thread working, but I would spin it a different way. The conflict there is not in how Yanagi and... It's not in how Yanagi and not Cyrus interact with Section 6, because the idol group is one of the parties in play. It would be how they both interact with their respective parties. You could even probably take it a step further. If this is like a long-standing beef, it could be reflect a sort of twisted mutual obsession between Yanagi and not Cyrus, where one of them is obsessed on a personal level, and you can get a lot darker and creepier with the subtext of the actual conflict of them all being trapped in a virtual world where he is God. But I don't think they would ever go that extreme. Meanwhile, Yanagi is positively married to the case and stopping the bad guys at all costs and doing the right thing and all of those good qualities, and that is the difference. One of them is doing this because it is their calling, it is for the sake of others, it is in the name of the community that they are a part of, while the other is doing it for beef and personal gratification, and the group that he's a part of is gas in a tank. He doesn't consider himself a part of the, let's call it 100, the 100 other Nullface members. He's using them for his own gains. Like they are a rowdy bunch. They don't listen to him. But he is the man with the plan. He's the one who, manipulates them into doing what he needs them to do so he can get revenge, big asterisk in air quotes there, on Yanagi in Section 6, while all of Yanagi in Section 6 are together, unified, working together. They have faith in Yanagi instead of butting heads underneath her or alongside her. And that moment they clash is when they run the Nullface over, or something like that. I do tend to ramble when I get into pockets like that. My apologies. But I hope it paints a pretty clear picture. You could even do it like not Cyrus. You could even make the distinction that not Cyrus is a fake HIA member. Like he is only a part of his organization and his, big air quotes again, cause for the sake of his own revenge, instead of Yanagi, who is a part of it for the greater good. Like you got something there. I've got a headache now. Right? You could get a similar, like you could get something like that by just making the staff dude somebody from Section 5 who was in charge of overseeing the thing, and now it's a conflict of him being a part of 3 different groups and not having loyalty to any of them, which is definitely compelling when you compare it to Yanagi and her utter, like, I'm gonna say marriage again, and her like marriage to Section 6 and everyone everyone that's a part of it. Let's see, what else? I should really do the agent stories soon. That might be the next thing I do. Catch up on all the agent stories, hit Chapter 5, and then we're in Epilogue. So it would probably start from Cat and Mouse game. No, I should start with Mole in the Hole. I don't like Mole in the Hole, but I'm sure I can take a bit. Yeah, it's fine. So next time we'll do Mole. We can probably do 2, maybe 3 agent stories in the time that we did a special episode. We'll have to see. But Mole in the Hole takes us all the way through to Harumasa's story, and then when we get there, we do Chapter 5, and then come back, do that, and then move on with the rest of the stuff. Okay. Yeah, we got something. Almost 4 hours of writing slop and talking about a chapter that I don't even have super passionate feeling. Okay, saying I don't have passionate feelings about that is a total cop-out. I obviously feel very passionately about Virtual Revenge, and I am almost definitely going to have some passionate things to say about Astronomical Moment. I refuse to believe that I will be done with this chapter and not completely ruined as a person. Even just from here, there's already, and what little I know about these two, there's already so much to love about this. I'm excited for that. Yeah, we'll do a nice quick little roundup. If anybody has any questions, I will be here for another, call it 5 minutes. While I organize the last of these notes, I will answer any questions and engage with whatever discourse. Don't quote me on that gets brought up. And we will be looking to do some agent stories next time. My guess is probably going to be Monday or Tuesday. I will let everybody know on the YouTube channel. I'm going to go stand over here because this is a better picture. Just to put my thoughts on this out there, Yanagi is married to the job, Miyabi is only dedicated to the field duties, Harumasu will eventually do his job but is lazy, and Sokaku is only there because she's adopted, essentially. Yeah, commitment is definitely something that you have to consider when you're looking at these four specifically, but you need to understand that at the end of the day, they are all committed to each other and to the same ideas. Commitment. They're all committed at different... Like, these are, alignment-wise, these are all good characters. They will all do the right thing when push comes to shove. I have absolute faith in that. It'll be for different reasons. That's the important part. And it'll be at different times. Yanagi and Miyabi are gonna jump on the whack the bad guys train a lot faster than Harumasa and Sokaku will. But they will hop on it before anything terrible happens, which is the most important part. And if anything bad happens to any of the other four, all the other three are going to hop on that as well. Mullen the Hole actually made me love Trigger and want to pull for her. Is Trigger in Mullen the Hole? I thought this is Soldier 11's story. I wouldn't be surprised if Trigger wasn't even conceived when this came out. Because Mullen the Hole is one of the ones that I've actually done. I didn't retain anything from it because it felt like side story slop. I'm very sorry. The idea of her is in there. See, now I'm interested. Yeah, we're definitely going to be starting with... Technically, yes, but originally just off-screen. No idea how... Now it's to play the story in TV mode. I'm pretty sure the side stories are still in TV mode. Like, not everything has been swapped off of it. You don't see her, but she kind of shows up. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not super excited for Mullen the Hole. I am actually excited about Cat and Mouse game. I do like Nekomata's character of formerly being with the bad guys and having a new lease on life brought to her by Nicole and the others, and I think that's a really good representation of just the Cunning Hares in general. You know, she's a sniper teammate, nothing else. And I think getting to expand more on Nekomata, presumably as a proper member of the Cunning Hares, is a great natural expansion of the dynamic and how the other three might have influenced her in the time that we've been focusing on other stuff. I don't really have any opinion about the Iron Witch. I feel like of Belobog, Grace is probably the least developed. So if any of them are going to get a character story, I'm happy that it's her. I'm especially happy... Yeah. I'm especially happy about Koeda having one, because she is the most developed of the four Belobog characters, and I want to experience more of her now that we don't have to deal with family dynamics and stuff like that, and we can really focus on the characters instead of the drama. I'm super down for the Lycon story. I need to know as much about him as possible. I felt the same about the Rena story, and I stepped away from it not being too impressed. It's got a. That's true. I'll have to trust somebody else for that, because I don't know their original voice from their new one. Yeah, Until Your Memories Fade is another one that I have actually played. I was not incredibly impressed by it. There is a single, like, really, really good moment, but the build-up to it is fine, and the rest of the chapter is inconsequential, and I feel bad saying that because I love Rena, and this does make me like her more, but It's just because of that one. It's just because of that one moment. Honestly, I am kind of excited for this one. Qingyi just kind of gets shafted for Zhu Yuan in the PubSec chapter. Obviously excited for the Bernice adventure. These two, I'll admit, I'm probably looking forward to your Nekomata vid mainly because I don't care about her story and ended up skipping those cutscenes. Yeah, I'll try my best and, make videos on all of the agent stories, but I feel like a lot of having played Soldier 11s, Rena's, and Ellen's, I'm not too... my hopes aren't too high about there being a whole lot of content to talk about, because I felt like Ellen's agent story was kind of the worst of all of them. I'm not going to compare it to the Faith and story and special episodes, but, like, it's not great. It doesn't really leave a lot of impact, and it really can't, because this is, again, side content. It's optional. You can't disturb the foundation of these characters that you're asking people to come and spend money on and play for, and have a story where their character takes a really dramatic shift that isn't in the main story. But I mean, it's fine. Ellen's a nice character. She has appeal. That's it. No real notes. She has friends and pretends to not care about them, but she actually does. That's the agent story. Really excited for Lighters, though. There's so much good that can come from this. There's so much good that can come from Lighters' story. But I know it's going to disappoint me because my hopes are so high. And then these two, way too off in the distant future. I can't really give my opinions on them. Yeah, my problem with side content, and specifically, like, events and agent stories, is that they can't leave dramatic impacts. They can't challenge or change the character. Qingyi is important for Chapter 5 too. That makes sense. It is, as far as I understand, Chapter 5 is kind of the culmination of everybody that Phaethon has worked with in New Eridu kind of coming together for one big, like, climactic thing before the epilogue. Like, I know PubSec is involved. Obviously, Section 6 is involved. I know Cunning Hairs are involved. I know you have to... There's a section where you're dealing with the Sons of Caledon. I'd imagine there's probably a section with Belobug. It's gonna be like Infinity War or something. These two, not worried about them yet. Haramas's is actually, like, in the opposite ballpark as Lighter's, where I am absurdly excited for Lighter. Like, he gets the most shafted out of the Sons of Caledon, along with these two, but that's because the Tour de Inferno is about Lucy and Caesar, obviously. And as far as backstory goes, they really lay it on thick with him. Like, Lighter's got history, and I really hope it gets into it, but it probably won't. It'll probably be just a side story about him having to deal with ghosts of his past, and that'll be that. I'd really prefer if these side stories were, like, I mean, do you live in New Eridu? Do you work in the ratings department? Do you know what ESRB is in a fictional gacha game universe? It is fair. But now you're going to make me check all the ratings on all of these. They don't have ratings. Yeah, Lighter has a lot of stuff that gets set up for him, and a lot of history that gets kind of pushed in your face, especially with the stuff with Bellum and all that. And it would be really easy for an agent story to be about who he was before meeting Caesar and becoming a part of the Sons of Caledon, and that would really flesh his character out and be really exciting to experience. But by nature of this being an agent story, Phaethon has to be involved. And that means that we aren't going to be going back to a younger lighter and seeing what the fight pit made out of him. And we're not going to be going through any sort of sequence where we can expect him to grow anymore, because this is side content, and we can't have Lighter taking a dramatic character shift outside of the main content. It'd be like, imagine if we play Tour de Inferno, and Chapter 2 comes out, and the first thing is about Sons of Caledon. And we go in there, and we're doing the Sons of Caledon chapter, and Lighter shows up, and he is missing an eye, an arm, and he doesn't fight anymore. I am perfectly primed and ready to be absolutely furious with how, like, I'm talking like 11 stories high, off the roof, drop the ball. But that's because my expectations are way too high, and I'm setting myself up for failure. I should be engaging with these and setting my expectations as these being agent stories, and I'm not. I'm doing them as independent pieces with a lot of creative liberty, and they don't have that. Such is life. And the opposite is true for Harumasa, because I know nothing about this man, apart from the ladies like him, and there is probably multiple layers of masking involved with who he really is, and I'm excited to learn more about him, because that is probably going to change my tier list of these characters very, very significantly. But I will be calling it there. Mole in the Hole is going to be the next target. I'm going to shoot for Monday. You'll see it if I go live, probably. And I'll try and make it so the time, even if the date isn't consistent, the time definitely is. We're talking 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern, that sort of thing. And I'll be sure to make some sort of announcement to keep things consistent. They did change time frames a bit. They're learning. They're learning that they can do self-contained stories and endear them even more if they just take Phaethon out of the equation and show us who these people are at different points in their lives. It's pretty good. We do love context. We love context. We love consequences. I want to see characters grow and change. That doesn't have to be new growth. The easiest way to do these is for the agent stories to be backstories and endear us like that. But obviously, nothing is perfect in this world, and gacha games are especially so. But I will be checking in some other time, and for now, I will be checking out. Thank you all for tuning in with me for Virtual Revenge. I'm Numu, and thank you for joining me on the box in the middle of everything.